Hello there. Only one Kenobi here. Only one. There's the camera. I don't know where to look. There's so many different things on screen. Oh, how are you doing? I thought it was a high time I did a live stream. And there's a lot to talk about. You know, we've had the SDCC, some interesting reveals and everything yesterday. But I'm not going to do it alone. No, I have some friends backstage. I'm going to bring them in one by one. And I'm going to put the comments on it and see. I've got other people here. I have you. Yes, you in the chat. And I'll be shouting out a few names in a moment. Let's have a look at this now. We've got Mo Soup, Lax Shivrak. Hello there. 112 minutes to go. See you there. 112 minutes. We're on now, man. How are you doing? And we've got the Rue, Star Wars Rue. And long live the bubble. Look at this, is an appropriate comment from Black Star Ninja. And let's bring on these guests now without any further ado. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go over the chat in a moment. Firstly, he's a heavy hitter in the world of TVC and vintage, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. Long distance information, give me Memphis, Tennessee. Trying to find the party, trying to get in touch with me. She would not leave her number, but I know who placed the call. Uncle took the message and he wrote it on the wall. It's the action figure grader, John Rula.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Sorry to surprise you with that. I just thought I'd sing that little intro. But is it Memphis?
You have a nice voice. It's very soothing.
Thank you. Is it where, if you don't mind, say, or would you sooner keep that private? Sorry.
Oh, okay. What?
Are you cool? Whereabouts in Tennessee?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
You're in right. Cool, man. Nashville, Tennessee. Awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, when I get robbed a week from now.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, why have I
thank
done
you.
that?
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Why have I done that? I'm terrible. I've dropped people's surnames in live stream as well. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, moving on. Live TV is not for me. And let's bring him on. He's sweet as an angel's fort. It's Daniel Chart, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Nick. Hello, John.
Hey,
hello,
Daniel.
Everybody. Great.
You're a bit quiet there, Daniel. Can you whack up your mic?
I can.
Please. It just seemed a little bit quiet there. In fact, you know something, fellas, I'm not even using earphones. I usually do, so I hope there's no feedback or what not. We'll see how we get on. I can run and get a pair later. Okay, that's good. Good. And then finally, solo shot first. He's the man who can... Oh, I've forgotten what it was, Daniel, in the introduction. Let's just bring him on. It's solo shot first. Mike. How are you doing, Mike?
Hi, guys. Yeah, good. You all right?
Still no face reveal for you, Michael, but maybe one day.
Nice to see you, John. Nice to see you, Dan.
And you, Mike. Can you hear me better?
Nice to see you.
Fantastic.
You're still very quiet there, Dan, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there, Daniel.
Hang on.
It's needs cranking that, I think. Anyway, who else do we have? We got Des T and we got Ray Dunkley. It's funny, Ray Dunkley, man, a regular live stream attender. That's awesome. Hi, Ray. Excuse me, Matthew Whiting. Or is it Whiting? And excuse me, I've just had a sip of beer and it's coming back up. GA, we've got Brett on Fett. How you doing, Brett?
Hey, Brett.
And we have Obi-Ban Kenobi. Good evening, all. Indeed, Mark O. How are you doing, Mark O? Howdy, chat. Nick. Yep. Delvian Seek and Destroy. Hi, Delvian. Paul Morales.
Hey,
Dave of the Dead. Benekin. I'm just darting around here. Star Wars Rue. Roland's review. Oh, here he is. Roland's reviews. I know. Hello, Tez. Hi. I know. Stuart Norris. Lee Smith. Yeah. Bradley Harvey. Another regular. Here he is. Tim from Bosk Bounty.
Tim's on vacation and he's here.
Yay.
That's dedication.
Yeah, across the nation. And then we have Martin Footer. Brilliant.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Justin Mabin.
Justin, what's up, man?
Wow, this list goes on, doesn't it? And the list goes on.
When I do a live stream, I get like 4 people. This is amazing. You got so many people.
And we've got BOE. Hopefully, he will be with us later. That'd be quite nice. We've got the. Why are you laughing? And then we've got Dark Wizzy Wizard, man. Oh, we need you here for this discussion.
What's up, man?
Yeah, awesome, man.
Hi.
And we're gonna, we need to discuss some things with him here. Kurt K, hi, Kurt K. Is that from New Jersey? Matthew Allen, hello, Matthew. Wayne Banner. I hope I'm not boring people reading out names here. We're going to get our teeth into today. Well, people are entering anyway, aren't they? I quite like seeing who's around here. Justin Maben, I've said his name. And
just saw Tim's message to John.
Yes, he is. He's not in his house with his collection, of course. Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Yep. Okay, so let's bring this on, fellas. As I said, I got 61 people here. How about that? Awesome. We have the SDCC. I think it was the last thing, wasn't it? That panel yesterday, boys. I haven't done a video on that myself yet. So all that stuff that was revealed, I'm going to show some images of that and we can discuss it. I did do a video. I talked about the bubble being, saved and all that, which was great news. We can discuss that. And that's about it, really. But I thought it was about high time I did another live stream, showed our faces, except for Mike there. So how are we all, fellas? Are we all well?
Very well, thanks.
What's popping with you guys? Just Action Figure Raider. What's new with you?
I've been really good this month. I tried to do a no buy July and not buy anything, and I didn't stick to that. But I haven't bought much, so that's good. I've been really good with it.
God, that's hard going.
I try to do it every year, 1 month every year, and
really?
I didn't even
no
make
buy
it.
July.
No buy July.
Yeah. I'm gonna think of another month and see if I can think of a rhyme to go with it and see if I can work something into that.
The trouble with that, though, John, is if you've done pre-orders and stuff. I remember, I think when I was speaking to Nick a while back, and it wasn't not last month, but maybe the month before. Loads of pre-orders dropped, and a credit card bill came in, and basically it was well over my monthly salary just for fucking toys. Excuse my language, sorry.
That's outrageous. You just F-bomb. We've only 8 minutes in. That's disgusting. That is. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Daniel Chart, how are you doing, man? What's new with you?
Well, very well. Not a great deal, mate. Just trying to keep cool, really. With the heat last week and everything's not very nice. Was trying to keep the collection cool. I hope everybody managed to do that. Not really done a lot of diorama stuff recently. Life gets in the way occasionally, as you all know. So hopefully get back to it soon.
Yeah, and we can hear you good and clear now, Daniel. So that's all good.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Mike. How are things with you? Have you got any new? What were your latest pickups and blah de blah?
Not so much new pickups, Nick. I've just been looking at some of the older stuff. I think I've got a couple of bits coming next week. I did get a notification from Star Action Figures with some of those, the deluxe box set. So you've got the Stormtrooper and the
Incinerator Trooper.
Yeah. So there's three, Dan, isn't it? Incinerator Trooper,
Stormtrooper with what's the gun called? The E-Web cannon.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and Ahsoka with
that's it.
Grogu.
Yeah, so they will probably be with me on Monday or Tuesday. Other than that, I've just been looking at sort of older stuff, really. But I've got to get into my sort of lockup and stuff to get into sort of looking at other older stuff, really. So yeah, just been pretty chilled, really. I suppose this week's not been so cool.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, aside the pickups, I showed some of them today. I couldn't do a video on the retro collection. There's a bit of a blunder there. I got 2 Vaders instead of an Obi-Wan Kenobi for the new retro collection, which was a bit of a bummer, really. Just one of those things. I'm sure he will sort that out, Wayne from Star Action Figures.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. But that's just, I got quite excited opening them. I wasn't fully expecting them to arrive soon. I don't really track when things are supposed to be coming and stuff, and nothing ever seems to ever work out to the schedules they put on their websites anyway, does it really?
No, some come early, some are late. It's just a guide. The dates they put are just a rough guide, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I got that what's he called now, that commando Stormtrooper Commando, the 501st blue patterned Stormtrooper I put that video out today, and I was quite aware that there wasn't many online. I think Tim's got his out as well now, Timothy. But I think I
where did you pick that up
for 2
from,
hours.
Nick? Are we
You what, Mike?
I was just going to say, where did you pick that up from, Nick? Because
obviously, that was from Pulse. That was from
okay,
Pulse.
Yeah, because
the heavy duty dude, and everyone's got him though, it seems.
Some of the Pulse ones have seemed to be. If anybody's ordered from Pulse recently, that they seem to be getting some of them a little bit quicker, which you probably would expect, but you know, from the other sort of online retailers. But it is very hit and miss, isn't it, at the moment?
Absolutely. Sorry, Mike. The other big pickup I want to show you is thanks to our man, Action Figure Grader. How do I do this? How do I go big screen here? God almighty, it's not long ago that I did a live stream. Oh, there you go. Here you go. So this is a nice little piece that's arrived. Thanks to the Action Figure Grader. I'll be doing a separate video on this, showing them all together. But this is the variant, the last variant of VC26.
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian.
Language built.
This is the Caucasian. Obviously, I didn't know if this even existed, but after a conversation with Miko and a fellow from the US Facebook group, he said, "Oh, yeah, they do," and he found me a link to one. And obviously, they didn't deliver to UK, so John helped with that. So thank you, John. Action Figure Grader.
Sure, man.
Nick, is there a Canadian variant with the black Endor Trooper?
A lot more common, that one.
Is it?
Yeah, I've had that one for years. In
So
fact,
that
I
one
recently.
one you've got there is rarer than the other one.
Well, I'd say so. I have not seen one of them over this side of the water ever. You know, but the black one the black guy, I had a crease on his hanger thing. You know why is that, John? Action Figure Grader. I'm going to put you on the spot now.
It's okay. Yeah, all the Canadians, they all seem to have that little factory error. Even unpunched ones, they have a little crease there. All my every one of my Canadian cards have it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I tell you, do you know what, John? Though I had my first ever Ahsoka Tano, as in VC, 102, that had one of them, and I'm actually now thinking. In fact, I might have a video I could dig out and check, but that might have been a Canadian. Who knows, man? And if it was, it might have been worth more money than. I don't know the other, but she's going down in value. I notice anyway. Ahsoka, what with the reissue, everything's struggling, isn't it?
Hasbro just keeps creating more and more females. I mean, it's crazy. The more Ahsokas that they create, the values just completely drop. It's crazy. It's bounced though. It's been, at least here in the U.S. It's bounced. Like the original issue, it went down to like 250. Now it's back up to like 350, 400. It's crazy.
Yeah. Right, so I'll tell you what, we'll spin on there, boys. Unless anyone's got anything else they want to show that's new, that's of interest, please do it now. Oh, hello. Well,
it's not new, but I do want to give a shout out to a gift I got. This was a graded Bo-Katan, and it's got the Hong Kong import sticker over here. We have a hard time getting these. You know, really our only option in the U.S. to get these, unless you get one by mistake from Big Bad Toy Store, is Robot Kingdom and paying the exorbitant shipping fees. But Tim was kind enough to send me this UKG 90% uncirculated Bo-Katan with the Hong Kong import sticker. So that was a really great gift that he sent me. Thank you, Tim.
Lovely.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's awesome, man.
It was nice. It was really nice.
That's just awesome. Yeah, graded items, nice. Anyway, without any further ado, boys, I'll put I'll share screen and get this thing on. So if you just bear with me, let's see if I can do this. Please hold.
This is compelling. This is really compelling television. Thank you so much.
Well, come on, there's three of you there. Can you not say something? We'll keep it going. Come on.
Edge of the seat stuff.
If you're wondering why I don't know, man. I can't help but switch accents. I've got, I can't just be me. I've got two Cockneys there, and I got an American, and I like to just.
You missed your calling, Nick. I mean, I swear, you'd be the best stand-up comedian impersonator.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Let's see. Right, here we go.
Oh,
Can you
look
see
at
that all right, fellas?
Getting all fancy.
Yeah. So the first, I mean, this is in no particular order, really. I tried to put it in an order before, having a nightmare. This is bear with me. Let's have a look and see what you can see. Yep. awesome pipeline. The Scout Trooper at long last, fellas. Awesome.
Yep.
Waited a long time for it. Sorry,
Apparently Sorry, John, go on.
It's all falling apart. We haven't started yet.
I was going to say, apparently that speeder bike is an all new mold. It's an all new sculpt. I presumed.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, I presumed that they would repack the 2012 Toys R Us one. But Anthony from Imperial Communicators, you was just going to say, Nick, he had some questions with Patrick and the other fella, Chris, I think whose name escapes me. But they said that speeder bike is going to be all new. It's got to be more to scale. Apparently, it will be slightly bigger than the 2012 one. So
I got a job lot recently, Dan. I got the Power of the Force 2 one, and that's massively bigger than say because Anthony very kindly gifted me a Toys R Us one because he said on that video, didn't he? He's got about 30 or something. So he gifted me one about 2 years, coming up to 2 years ago, and very, very kind of him. But I tell you what, it don't half look dinky compared to the Power of the Force 2 one. Maybe, as he says, possibly too small.
That one is slightly too small, and obviously the vintage one and the Power of the Force one is too big. So this new one is going to be somewhere in the middle, and apparently it's going to be true to scale. So that should be good. And also the Biker Scout is going to be rejigged. I don't think they said it's going to be an all new figure, but they're going to tweak the one we had before, which I presume will make the helmet a little bit bigger because it's too small.
It's kind of a loose head, that wasn't it, as well, which is quite good.
Very wobbly.
Like look up and down. Good poses you can do with it. What about the speeder bike on the back of the AT-AT, by the way? You might know about that. Is that kind of the same size? Is that a different mold as well? Or is that kind of the Toys R Us mold?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. What would be interesting to do would be a nice comparison, as Daniel
It's a different mold to the 2012 one.
Yeah, but they say the one in Mandalorian was white, so I need to kind of get that out of my AT-AT Legacy Collection one, or Rise of the Dark Side, whatever it was. Get it on display, man, and get a Scout Trooper on it. You know.
So how does that do you guys know how it compares? So obviously it was the Power of the Force one, wasn't it? When you had the Leia and the Luke that came
right
with you know, in the two carded boxes. Any idea on the difference in scale with those ones?
Not sure of the actual measurements, but I think the Power of the Force one with the Leia and the Luke is slightly bigger than the one you got in the AT-AT.
Right.
And they're both bigger than that one, than the 2012 one, as far as I know.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because the Power of the Force 2 line was like it's all characters with bovine steroids, right? They're all just so jacked up. They had to make them a little bigger. So that makes sense.
Yeah. They skinned it. They trimmed them down before the Phantom Menace. Definitely, you know, that last leg of the Power of the Force 2 era. And certainly they did for the Power of the Jedi line. There were much better figures by then. Yeah, interesting. I'll spin on. There's a lot to see and do, fellas. Let's spin on. But that was awesome. Awesome news. Just what we wanted to hear for Return of the Jedi.
It's nice to have an expert who knows what he's talking about instead of me talking. That's great. Thank you, Daniel.
I wouldn't say expert, but I do try.
The thing is with this one though as well, having this. Just sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Tim's wanted it for ages, but we've all wanted this. So, and it's whether they've given us a completely sort of new speeder bike, whatever size wise, it's something that was much overdue, especially with the fact that it's been obviously showcased in The Mandalorian and all these other things. So we've wanted it for ages, so it's absolutely 100% welcome. So
yes.
The thing is, though, it's kind of one of these things that you wouldn't put it past them not to do. You know, like you've not had a Blurg, you've not had a Dooku. If they didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be surprised. Only because there's so many items that are just you'd think would be dead certs on the anniversary, like 2020 anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back. They could have. It would have been nice if they'd put that Legacy Collection Cloud Car, Bespin Cloud Car in a vintage box, man.
Oh,
would, yes.
I would have bought that in
Things
a
like that,
heartbeat.
you know? Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, no one can say they wouldn't sell. Cause you know what I mean? They would. It would. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, again, no particular order. This was this Cal Kestis. I thought this looked quite like the peasant peasant Anakin, but this was obviously another one that was a dead cert to happen when it's a popular character. I don't know very much about Jedi Survivor. If anyone can shed any light on that, please do chip in.
Not me, I'm afraid.
Nothing. I know nothing.
And unfortunately, me not neither. I've sort
Right.
of not really got any of the. I've never really played a Star Wars game on any console.
Oh,
so.
hang on. Well, there's other images, as I say. These are in a really bad order, so we're going to keep coming around the same characters and then change. But this is one that I saw on Instagram earlier. This is Luke, right? And someone had done a little Photoshop or something where they'd made the pill and the background to the bubble green, which looked way better. I didn't even realize when I was looking at it. I was just overjoyed to see the image of Luke like that, and the fact that it's a decent card back. I just I didn't notice it was orange until this Facebook post. Instagram.
A lot of the Mandalorian figures, carded figures, have got orange pills and backgrounds. I don't know if you've noticed that. If you've got the whole collection of Mandalorian figures so far and you line them up, there's a hell of a lot of orange pills and bubbles.
Well, there's one right there. The Mandalorian himself, he's orange. Yeah, I didn't notice that, Dan. Well, that's
There
a
is
good
a lot.
observation. Yeah, very interesting.
And oddly enough, the Rogue One line of figures,
Green.
There's a lot of green.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they look quite nice all together in a row. Yeah, Cara Dune is turquoise or whatever you want to call that. Teal. I never noticed that about all the brown though. I've got most of my Mandalorian ones are outside this room. So anyway, let's spin on. What else have we got? Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is a, one that really annoyed me yesterday. Boba Fett's The Slave One, ladies and gentlemen, the reissue of The Slave One for the Book of Boba Fett. So anyway, firstly, thoughts on two areas so we can discuss. Firstly, the name, and secondly, the fact that it's been reissued, which, to be honest, for the latter, it's good because a lot of people maybe didn't get hold of the Empire Strikes Back one, and it's a really good release of the vehicle. That the stand's brilliant. To have it in flight pose, really pleased I've got that previous release, and the weathering was great as well. There might be some other images of it if I spin on. Just bear with me. If it has got extra weathering on it, I'd be probably tempted to get another, but I don't know.
I was under the impression, Nick, that it did have extra weathering from some of the things I'd seen on the Facebook groups. But
it does, yes, it does.
I think for anybody, who's obviously sort of picked that up in the last year or two, the was it 2012 or 2013? It was released. I think it was. The first one was 2010, wasn't it? 2010.
2010 was it the Amazon?
2010, the Amazon white box exclusive.
I can tell you in a second. Hold on.
The re-release obviously was massively improved weathering wise, wasn't it? Which was what, a year or two back? Is that right, guys?
Yeah, 2020 that came out.
2020. Yeah.
Okay. And then they're saying again this is going to be weathered even more. But
yeah, I like the look of it.
It's all about the figure in there, isn't it? For anybody that's got this vehicle, it's just about the figure. I personally don't think I would go out and get another one of these. I like the box art. I think the box art looks lovely, but obviously just having Boba Fett's starship is to me absolutely ludicrous and completely woke nonsense.
It is, isn't it?
The lunatics are running the asylum. That's
but
where
the figure looks great. The figure looks great. They've got to give us that figure on a card back down the line. You would.
Hang on. Let me go back onto the figure. Brilliant figure. I'll keep going actually because, there's some other good images. I've gone past a few. Yeah, this was not. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Just walking. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let's just go back to this one here. I thought this would look good. Just like there, And then what have we got? There he is. It's just a brilliant. I mean, it was a fantastic facial sculpt on the other one that we got. The Book of Boba Fett one.
That is a really nice figure, though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It does look good. I mean, let's be honest. When we first saw him in that episode of of the Mandalorian standing there on the sand dune in that outfit. I mean, everybody was hoping and wishing that we would get him looking like that, and that looks really good. That does look good.
That is a lot dirtier. I do like that. You know,
that is a completely different paint job to the previous two.
Yeah, I kind of like that looking more grimy actually, but the other one's got plenty of grime on it. It's nice. I'm just glad I don't own the first. I don't own the first issue of it because that's got like nothing. This has got like a nice streak all over it, a bit like the Millennium Falcon, the Galaxy's Edge one. That was a really good vehicle. Hello, BOE. We've got BOE in.
You can wash that out yourself if you wanted to. You can easily do that.
Well, tell you what, Mike, I saw on eBay they had one of those is it MTT? But I didn't realize how underweathered they were. That would definitely need a wash on that, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, they are easy enough to do. I mean, you know, obviously,
there he is.
It's just, you know, the time and application, and if you want to do it, you know, if you're obviously looking at just doing it for your own collection wise, then by all means wash them up as much as you want. Do you know what I mean? I saw, I mean, there's I don't know if any of you guys seen, but you know, obviously Matt, Universal Collector, did a fantastic video where he washed up the name escapes me now, the vehicle from Rogue One, the
U-wing.
Yes,
you did,
yeah.
Funny enough, I weathered my son's U-wing.
Right.
I did that quite a long time ago.
So again, all I'm saying,
it's easy to do.
Exactly, of course it is. You know, just a little bit of time application. Speak to people that have done it themselves, and you know, you could easily weather that. And the only reason I'm saying that is, I'm not trying to be objective here, but for the price point that this probably will come at, you know, what was the 2020 release was minimum 150, wasn't it? You're going to be spending at least that again. It's probably a little bit more, obviously, because of the costs of things. If anything's gone up, it's for collectors that already got these. Are you going to be thinking, can I justify spending that amount of money again? And my point would have been on this would have been, you know, I think I mentioned it very, very briefly, sort of backstage. It would have been the perfect opportunity to give you, we've got the molds there, we know that, and they could have just redone this as Jango Fett slave one, and given you, that in Jango's colours, because those are a little bit harder to get, aren't they? Those I think it came in was it a Clone Wars set? Dan, you'll probably know. I have got one somewhere.
The Jango one.
Yeah, it came with
Bosk and young Boba.
That's right.
Young Boba Fett and Bosk. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the
I think it was some sort of Clone Wars set, I believe. I've got one.
The Hunt for Boba Fett or something to do. Yeah, and
I've got one of those boxes somewhere. But you think, if you're going to re-weather a ship you've just done a year ago, or a year and a half, whatever, 2 years, God, it wouldn't have been a great time to give you an updated Jango's.
Well, I suppose this is a new, relatively new show, year and all that. But then again, you have got the 20th anniversary, which is always overlooked for certain things. Like they didn't do a hell of a lot for Empire Strikes Back, did they? And this is another golden opportunity, maybe, to celebrate that a bit more. In fact, how much have we had for Attack of the Clones this year, other than the square root of F all? I can't remember now.
No.
It's a shame, isn't it? Dooku would have been piping up this year. I do worry about Dooku. I don't know when that's going to happen, but and what format is it going to be? Is it going to be Clone Wars, or I hope it's not Revenge of the Sith, but hopefully it would be Attack of the Clones, because that's his kind of like introduction, isn't it? Really, in the movies and all that.
Has that been pipelined at all, guys? By the way, Nick, because I know you want Dooku.
Not yet, but he will. They'll do it. They've got to do it.
Yeah, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Really.
There's too many people screaming for it. It's got to be done.
There you go. This is a nice shot there. Now we've got the bubble saved. You don't have to worry so much about. That's quite a nice shot there as well. That bit when he was shooting down the biker gang or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've secured the bubble, you can sort of relax a bit more now about all that. Like we've discussed before. There he is.
That's a super image. That image.
Yeah. Let me stay on that one then, Mike, if you like that one. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? That's just the best facial sculpt I've ever seen for anything, really. Tamura Morrison, he's right there, man. Tem. May the force be with you, bro. He says something like that. The Attack of the Clones backstage footage. Right, there's loads of images. These are all courtesy of John Miko from the TVC group, but this is, we'll get onto that later, the Han Solo Piet thing. Does it go round again? Right, so going back to this thing of this, I mean, I don't really want to dwell on this because I just think it's pathetic, and then we can just draw a line under that, really. The whole thing of, obviously now it's official, they don't want to use the name Slave One, but even if it was just an acronym, you know, if it stood for something, just because it's slave, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's, whatever, I don't want to be.
You'd think if they were actually going to do that, they'd have just put Boba Fett's, what did he call it? Sorry, I've
Fire spray, yeah.
Fire spray.
Fire spray. My Ford Cortina.
Exactly.
My car. No, I mean my brand.
He called it a fire spray gunship, didn't he?
That's right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole big debate you can have on this.
Instead of just Starship, you know what I mean?
There's loads of people who probably quite woke themselves, and they say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You you can just call it that. It doesn't have to be." But you know, I don't know. Oh, I don't want to get into it. It's frustrating. If you have any thoughts on that, fellas,
it just seems completely unnecessary.
It's petty. It's unnecessary.
It's completely unnecessary. This is a collector's line, and at the end of the day, the people who collect this will reminisce about the films as his mic cuts out, doesn't it, Daniel? Have you noticed this?
It does, yeah, occasionally.
But it's like, it's only 24 months ago we had Slave One on the box, you know. I definitely reviewed it 2020 in that lockdown.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And now we don't have that name no more.
It just didn't need to be done.
Yeah. Total BS. It's annoying. Yeah. I concur with these people. But anyway, but then you suppose if you've got to be balanced and say, oh, well, you know, if people are offended by that, but you could say we're all slaves, you know, we're all slaves to the, David Brent, the Yankee dollar. Yeah. Okay. We're all slaves. Anyway, let's leave it there. But it's that, you know, we've talked about the Anakin thing as well, you know, you a slave? I'm a person, and my name is Anakin. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then they talk about the Republic's anti-slavery laws, and Republic does not exist out here. I mean, I think we should start cutting that dialogue out next. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to leave it there.
Careful what you wish for, I probably will.
Well, I know, yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe I should shut my mouth, Daniel. I don't know.
Leave it out.
Yeah, so this is the best image we've got of the Klatooinian Raider card back. Unfortunately, it's a screenshot from, well, a photograph of the presentation or whatever. A screenshot of a photograph. So that's the best we've got. But anyway, so Luke Skywalker, gentlemen, here he is. And I think we've got a few in a row. Oh, you see, I haven't got any in a row. Damn it. Oh, there he is again. Any thoughts on this figure? I think this is piping up. We'll talk about the card back later.
I'm pre-ordering it in like 24 minutes. Okay, 24 minutes. I'm gonna get like 5 of them. I think it looks awesome.
You're making me nervous, action figure grader. Do we all need to chip off in 24 minutes? Is it just
no? It'll take me 45 seconds, and then I'll come right back. But I've got to pre-order it, collector grade, because that's the only one I really care about out of all this stuff. That looks amazing.
Yeah, bit rude. Yeah, during a live stream. Yeah. Yeah, well, is Tim still listening? He likes Brent. Yeah, well, yeah, it's looking good. Let me just see if I can get some more images of him.
Tim will probably have a rough idea of when we can pre-order ours. I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell from the card back that they took pictures. Augustin, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, from the Facebook group as well. He had some photographs from the booth of the figure. Oh, no, he didn't. Sorry, it was the back of the card back. And I could tell the hair was looking good. Slightly darker, like the style. Brilliant. Yeah.
Speaking of hair.
What? I can't see you at the minute, John. Go on, say again.
I'm just saying. Speaking of nice hair, I mean,
Oh yeah,
look at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, man.
This is
Yeah,
just.
somebody. Did you see
Mm.
the comment earlier? Des T said that you're making me look pasty.
Oh, I just got back from Florida, or Virginia Beach, so
Oh, nice.
got a nice tan.
Yeah,
I'm usually
Virginia Beach.
translucent, just like you.
Yeah, is that on the that's on the East Coast, isn't it, Virginia Beach?
That's where I grew up. Yep.
Wow, you grew up there.
It was good fishing.
Man?
Good fishing.
Speaking of Augustine, I've been to St. Augustine once in 1990. No, twice actually. I went in 93 and 94, man. Nice. Have you been there? Colonial Spanish city, town?
No, I've never been there. No.
It's got the oldest schoolhouse in the US and A. A very interesting place. I liked it. And also they had a place called Jack's Pit Barbecue, which was like one of those outdoor diner places. Yeah, man, I loved it. It was great. That was also on the east. Where else is around there?
We do like our barbecue. We like our barbecue in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Judging by the obesity rate in the U.S., we like.
Anyway,
to chat about diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh man, yes.
Hang on a sec. Where are we up to here? Where are we up to?
That Luke looks so good. I mean, I've got to have it. Looks so good.
There he is again there.
Love the cape.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice, the black cape there.
It almost looks like I mean, to you guys, does that look like a completely new body sculpt or not?
So I think, looking at that, I think the body looks like the Return of the Jedi Vintage Collection one, or a kit bash of some kind. His boots look different to me. His legs, they don't look the same.
It's probably because obviously it looks like they've got the rocker ankles there.
Yeah.
But
That's probably what it is. But I think the top half looks pretty much the same, if not very similar to what we've had before.
Yeah. It's a shame I don't have a VC23 nearby. We could have a look at that, and then maybe they've just did a bit. I've got them quite close by.
It's just 'cause you've got obviously that soft good cape on as well, haven't you? So
that's right.
Sort of get out.
Silver buckle now. Yeah, he looks slightly skinnier. I don't know if you can see me on it. I can't see anybody at the minute while I'm on this page, but yeah, it's. I don't know, man. Let's have a look at this one. That's too far away. I can't reach it, but yeah, it's interesting. Whatever, it's still good though. They've got it right.
Just seen Tim's comment. Yeah, we've all got to jump off at 10 p.m.
Oh, is that right?
Right.
Sugar. We've got 91 people here now. The attendance is hotting up, Tim. We can't. Oh my God, 10 p.m. Well, maybe we should just chat amongst ourselves. Oh man, I need to have if I had the full thing of what's it called now? StreamYard. We could have a little bit of an intermission. Like Dean from All Things 80s when he goes to drain the snake. Right, let's have a look.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy. So we've seen this before. I got given one of these actually by Lau, a patron of mine, which was very nice of him. So that obviously would have come with the ATST.
Yeah.
But then we're going to get him like this. It's a nice figure though, isn't it? Klatooinian Raider, right?
Yeah, that looks good. Definitely going to buy that one.
Don't have that figure, so I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't got the Mandalorian ATST either, because that's really difficult to get a hold of if you didn't get it first time around.
Yeah, it's expensive here too. It's gone up a lot.
Silly money over here, yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get that first time around, and then the prices just shot up. I mean, mine's just somewhere in a box somewhere again, so I haven't actually even opened the box I think the figure actually just came in a baggie in that one. It obviously wasn't carded, I believe. So
yeah,
I struggle to know where to put this fella because he's not with anyone other than his clan of raiders. I've got him on my Jabba the Hutt shelf, I think.
The thing is that you've got with that though, Nick, is you've got these that sort of Klatooinian Raider obviously then featured, didn't it, in was it like the Book of Boba Fett where they had Klatooinians when the Mando was in that?
But they were Nikto, weren't they Niktos?
You're right, John. They were a Nikto gang. Yeah.
Were they Niktos? Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't remember Klatooinian. Okay.
Nerd alert.
Asshole Niktos as well.
They got theirs. Boba Fett gave him a little present.
I love that sequence. That was brilliant. That wasn't it?
It was
really good. And then after that, then it went downhill again. It was a bit
and
like
then
a
he went
roller
soft
coaster.
again. And they just all they had to do was kind of keep in with that cutthroat, deadly, I'm going to cut anybody down that gets in my way. If they kept that kind of persona through the rest of the show, it would have been a lot better. Instead, we got a Voltron scooter squad.
What I mean is, then after that, he went looking inside the pit, didn't he?
Boba Fett, when the Mando came in, when he was in the meat factory, wasn't that? Was that
them.
Nickto's or?
No, that was Steve's, I think.
Clitonians, it was, I think.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So, all I'm saying is, with that, you could, they could do a kit bash this figure and put out loads more of these type of figures, couldn't they?
That's a great idea. That was the best. That was the best scene in all of Book of Boba Fett. Like all the episodes, that was the best scene.
But there were a few of these Clitonian style characters in there, wasn't there? So they could easily pump out a load more of these type of figures, couldn't they?
Yeah, that's a great idea. They could do a play set like all the other play sets they've had come out recently.
I still think they inserted those episodes. They were looking at the ratings.
I think so too. I said the same thing when I watched it the first time. I was like, this is like definitely pulled from a different show.
Because they just stand out so differently, John, don't they? They are just completely different in the direction and the way that they're actually feel. Everything about them just doesn't fit in with the other.
They were better. They were a lot better.
Yeah,
than the rest of them.
Better, but they just if you go back and actually look at all the different episodes, and you just those two, like you just said, they are completely pulled from something else. They're not even remotely.
I agree.
In that,
it might have been part of the plan, and then but then it was just they were made better, different faction of people, whatever, and they produced it better, whatever. It just stood out that way. But no, I think they stitched it in because they saw the ratings dive, and I thought, oh my god, we've got to salvage something here. Quick, throw in a Mando episode. I don't know, weird. Right, let's spin on. I think this fella here. He looks. I don't like this one with the white background. These images. There you go. This droid as well. I've forgotten his name. If anyone knows him in the chat, he appeared in Book of Boba Fett as well, didn't he? That one with the
BD1 or something, is it?
Yeah, nice. It's a bit like kind of that Lola had that vibe as well, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Never assume the gender of the droid. Well, look, hang on a minute, Lola. It's got to be a girl, hasn't it? I don't know, or I don't know. I'll stop there. You know what I mean? It's just a nifty little accessory, isn't it, on the side? But I don't know what it's called. What was it called again?
I think it's BD1, is it?
BD1. And what does it do in this Fallen Order and all that?
I'd have to ask my son. He could probably tell me this bloke's life story, but I don't know.
Oh, hello. That droid was in
unlock doors and
Shadows
stuff.
of the Empire, that style. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Well, Lax Sivrak, can you tell us, or Mushop, can you tell us where? Because I've played the game. I've got the book as well, but I'd like to know.
Dave, that's right. We've got to tip our hat to Lax Sivrak.
Yeah.
B Hollywood's comment is really good as well, because that does look like Patrick, doesn't it?
Oh my God, it does, doesn't it?
That's hilarious.
Watching Patrick, have you?
It does look like
The
Patrick.
selfie series. It's awesome, and this is the first selfie, and that's the biggest
There it
one
is.
of all the whole year. I've modelized myself, and here it's out, and oh, that's so funny, that isn't it? Selfie series. Patrick, is it Patrick Snyder? Is it? There we go. How about that?
It does.
Very good. Well spotted there. Hey, hang on a minute. I'm just trying to go between two. Yeah, it's too creepy. Very similar. Let's take that off there. Hang on a minute. Right.
Alrighty
Let's
then.
spin on it, boys. What else have we got? Yeah, it's nice. Nice looking figure. Nice looking lightsaber. Look at that. Look at the tone of that. It's very sleek, isn't it? Wow, look at the end of it. It looks like it's kind of squared off, tapered off, or whatever you want to call it. Is it like that, the lightsaber in the show, in the game? I wouldn't know. Is that just my eyes deceiving me?
It's probably just photoshopped wrong. Something.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook where they
I like the look of that, though.
I saw on the Hasbro PR team, when they put out the announcement for the new Slave One, they cut and pasted from like the X-Wing.
Sorry, no, I'm being stupid. Go on, carry on,
you're
John.
right. That does look cut off there.
Sorry, John, I interrupted you. I'm terribly rude. Carry on, man. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't like you anyway. But the PR team, when they did the announcement for the new Slave One, they copied and pasted from either the Target exclusive Rogue One, and so like all of the wording was still exactly the same at the bottom of the press release for the X-Wing. It was just like, well, who's in charge over there? How does that happen? That's embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
That paint job is nice.
It is nice. It's very different to the previous one.
Hey, on the pipelines, I don't know about on this last PR thing, but did they ever announce a pipeline reissue for Jango Fett? Because going back to the point about they should have repainted it for Jango Fett Slave One, have they already announced a reissue for Jango yet? Or is that just
I'm aware of?
Okay,
but that's just me. I don't go sniffing around too deeply on pipelines.
And yeah, I don't know on anything. I just thought it was would have been a great opportunity, considering that we'd literally only just had that ship re-released 2 years ago, just to give you the Jango one, wouldn't it? I just think
remold and then remold the Jango. I mean, the Jango is clearly needing a totally new mold. I mean, a perfect time to do it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so let's talk about these. Speaking of pipelines, these two were announced or whatever, shown yesterday, and I was scratching my head at one of them. No prizes for guessing which, but yeah, the Han Solo. I thought what? So I'm sure everyone else has had a good think about this, and I seriously doubt it's another Endor trench coat. But then I thought to myself, well, what is it? Is it going to be just a regular one without the trench coat? And I thought, if this is going to be some kind of definitive Han they're going to make now, why in God's name is it not going to be on a Star Wars card? Or they're going to make this, and then they can recycle that for the New Hope Han.
It could be, Nick. It could be like how we had Indoor Capture Luke or Sandstorms and blah blah blah. I mean, it could be like a shield generator.
Exactly.
On, could be something like that.
Well, that's a nice image of him. That's kind of like when he does the little
Battle of Endor Han, something. I don't know.
That's the best part of the movie for him, when he's like kicking off in that bunker quickly.
The thing is, if they do it, it has to be a completely new sculpt. When they re-released the other ones, I was just, I know I was probably one of the people when I've been on chats with Nick and others. I was so disappointed that they were just re-releasing the figure.
Yeah.
Not that the figure was particularly bad. It was just from the point of view. I hated the fact that that belt was so loose and the holster just sort of hung so badly around the. It was just all wrong. It just doesn't look right, and I don't even think the figure looks anything like him. It was just again only an opinion. So if they're going to give us that, and yes, fine, give us another trench coat in there, whatever. I'm not too bothered about trench coat, but as Nick said, make it the ultimate one. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's another Han, Leia, Luke, New Hope. Yeah. Bring them on sooner rather than later. Just get them in there. It's time. Bring it on.
And Ben.
Or maybe they're waiting for the 50th anniversary, which is what's that now? 2027. God love us. Seems a long way away. But
I'll be dead by then, for God's sakes.
Oh, you mean when your collection gets passed over to Chad?
Yeah, I'll be dead. My wife will sell my collection, and then she'll be in Italy with her new boyfriend. I'm telling you, she would prefer sooner rather than later, while she still has her good looks. Okay, I'm telling you. I'm gonna wake up one night, and there's gonna be a pillow like muffled on my face, trying to suffocate me.
But you won't wake up, John. If she does the job right, that'll be it. Oh my God. We've taken this to dark places.
It's getting very macabre.
Piet is a brilliant announcement.
Yeah, it is. Isn't
I mean, that opens up so many doors.
Oh.
Definitely.
And again, it's an exciting time though, and the bubble is going to last. I mean, there's no kind of like rush now to get it in before 2020. And I want them to do everything, man. You know, Wolf, what was he called now? Wolf Yularen?
Yep.
Him. Oh, do him all, man. Do Ozzel.
Well, the thing is, exactly.
We've got to do it, Ozzel.
Yeah, Admiral Ozzel.
I'll tell you what would be a nice touch, because obviously if you're going to get that, then basically you could use those molds, like you said, obviously with Wolf Yularen, and they could redo, obviously with fully 3.75 scaled, fully articulated. You could do that Death Star briefing room repack. All absolutely spot on.
That would be amazing. And you know they're going to do like an Imperial officers multi-pack, like Army Builder pack.
Yeah.
Krennic. Get him done as well.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I love all that.
At the end of the day, once they've got that body sculpt done, though, it'd be an absolutely really, really easy thing for them to do. Just to come up with the other sort of 4 or 5 head sculpts for that Death Star briefing room repack, wouldn't it? It would be easy, and it would be brilliant and well overdue. I mean, you know, again, super. I mean, I love that original one. Don't get me wrong.
That's expensive too. That's an expensive one.
Yeah.
So someone's just reminded me about the time actually, and we're getting swept away with this amazing chat on the future possibilities of TVC. But then we have 6 minutes left. So what's the strategy here, fellas? The guys in the UK. F you, ruler. You're no help here. No, only joking.
Fine.
You know, is it Star Action figures? They usually do the whole wave, and they have a lot of question marks. Usually, don't they? When they don't announce or they don't know what it is that's next. Is that the best bet here, fellas? Or because like usually Pulse, they've got the newest things, and then that's it. I don't know what's the best strategy at 10 o'clock to get your chips covered or whatever.
I think some of them are only on Pulse. I think.
Oh, is it only Pulse? Right. Okay, I'm gonna get that ready then.
Probably the usual suspects, Nick. Star Action figures, in demand toys, comics, cocktails, Hasbro Pulse. Collectors Den might have some. They're pretty good, but there'll be there's loads in there. Let's be honest.
Right.
But the main ones will be the ones I would have thought.
You guys have it good over there, man. You guys have so many good options for. I mean, over here. I mean, I've only tried Entertainment Earth one time, and all 6 of the items came absolutely destroyed. So. Yeah, I'm never buying from them again. But we got Big Bad Toy Store, and that's really it in terms of making sure you get nice quality ones.
Well, before the time hits, fellas, I will just bring something else up. This is StarWars.com here, actually. Oh, hang on a minute. Can you see that? You won't be able to see that. I need to share that screen. Bear with me 1 moment, please.
John, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, I was just saying, is Big Bad Toy Store the only real option you've got of picking up the right sort of things that you want?
Well, I mean, there's other options, but they arrive so beat up. I mean, Walmart, Target, Amazon. I've given up on all of those. And then Entertainment Earth, I tried one time, and it was a complete disaster. Big Bad Toy Store is the only one where you can buy collector grade, where they, most of the time it's pretty good shape.
Right.
John, have you ever ordered anything from Star Action Figures? Because I'm pretty sure they do international shipping.
I just get it, second hand from my UK buddies. Like Tim, but
you've never actually ordered anything yourself.
No, I've ordered from Robot Kingdom, and they do a good job. But
John, what about is it Dorkside?
Dorkside is actually local. I want to support Dorkside because they're local to me. They're like 15 minutes away, but their logistics is terrible. It's just terrible. And they had a collector grade for a while, and all of those were beat up. So I just gave up on them too. I mean, I want to support them because they're a local business, but I just can't do it.
In 2017, John, I got a hell of a lot from them. I didn't really use Star Action or anybody for that back then. I don't know why.
A few years ago, I got some stuff off of Dorkside, and it was all really good. I've got to say, it wasn't, it wasn't the latest pre-orders, if that makes sense. It was just stuff that I was like, I fancy that. That was on this site. I picked it up.
Mike. That's been my experience. If it's in stock, it's really nice. But I pre-ordered some stuff from them one time, and it was like 9 months past where everyone else got theirs and they still hadn't shipped it or anything. So I finally just gave up on them.
Right.
Yeah. Just before people do chip off or whatever, let's just very quick mention that this overjoyed me. This was my favorite part of that live stream. I didn't think they were ever going to do it because of the logistics of doing back metal or whatever. And we can speculate as to if it is back metal or not, or maybe it is, or they have found a very shiny chrome ink substitute. But anyway, this is great news. This.
I think they confirmed it. They confirmed it was back metal us.
They are back metal. Yes, it is back metal, both of those.
Well, there's only 2 cards to show appropriately. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi on the StarWars.com. They've only got this one. And then the other images they've got that I've found. If anyone knows where I can find some better images, then let me know. But
that image, Nick, by the way, looks very, very different to the original.
Oh, yeah.
Obi-Wan head sculpt.
Then they've got this one to show as well. So these are the only 2 official image card backs I've seen. Obi-Wan and 3PO. I wouldn't mind seeing the others, but I don't know where to find them yet.
But that Obi-Wan is, if you can go back to that image,
yeah, I will. Yeah,
that head sculpt is not the original. I know they're obviously, this might be an impression or whatever, but that is not like the original head sculpt.
Well, I think
it was a much thinner head. I've still got the original one.
But yeah, it's not. I got myself a white-headed one recently, Mike. As you know, I don't know if you saw that video of mine. I got the original, then I got a custom cape and lightsaber. But it's not a million miles away. But it looks like maybe...
No. But I mean, I think the one thing is with this as well. I mean, I was personally. I mean, I think I got maybe the first couple of waves of the sort of retro, and then when they did the Mandalorian side of things, I was a bit like, don't want to go down that route. And then seeing this pack with those figures, absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be definitely trying to get that 100%.
I'm looking at my phone now. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's just great news. Really pleased, really glad, because it seemed wrong that they hadn't brought them out, and now that's tidy. And then I did another image. I don't know if I can pull it up.
You're right back.
Look at that. He's out of there.
The Star Action figures have got the wave up.
Yeah, just got an email.
Luke Skywalker, Cal Kestis, the Klatooinian Raider, and 3 other figures. The 3 other figures will probably be Cassian Andor, the new female character from that show whose name escapes me, and whatever the other one that was on the back of the card.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, look, 3 question marks.
Yeah.
And then, they'll go in on that there. So they've got that there going on Star Action figures. Yeah. Well, I'm having a bit of that now. So we can still do the show. We can talk and work.
And I've ordered.
Stay with us. If you are someone in the UK or US, stay with us.
I already ordered. I'm done.
Oh my God, that's a super...
That
was a snipe and a half, that one. That was a super stripe.
I got 2 Lukes and I got 2 of the Klatooinian Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, what did you get, man? Sorry?
I got 2 Lukes and 2 Klatooinian Raiders. I'm skipping the rest of them. I don't want them.
Very nice. Star Action figures is a hell of a lot easier to order nowadays with Stripe or whatever they call it. Is it Stripe?
It is.
Yeah, that's way quicker.
ID Toys have got them up as well.
Have they? What's their price for the full wave of 43? Wave 43. 94.95 on Star Action figures.
Okay.
July 2023. That's a whole 12 months away, man. God damn it.
Well, they're not showing the whole wave.
What are they showing on Star Action figures then? They're showing 3 images. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, they're showing...
Delvian seat. You can't look at this. He's calling it Boba Fett Starship. We've got someone calling it Slave One here. Well done, Benekin. That's correct.
I changed my mind. I went ahead and got I got Cal Kestis.
Yeah, 200. I'm just looking on Star Action figures, guys. They're saying the Starship's 235 quid.
Yeah, that's what I just put that up there, Mike.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Sorry,
don't apologise. You didn't probably hear that. And BOE's telling us as well now. Wow. The bleeping Slave One.
That's a lot of money.
£234.95 on Star Action figures.
I ain't buying that, man. I'll take my chances for Tungori.
Are we all getting mixed messages here?
Well, somebody mentioned Tungori earlier. They said, fingers crossed for Tungori. Yeah, Tim's saying there, look at the price of the Slave One. Yeah, it's expensive, that, isn't it?
Crazy.
It was only 170 24 months ago, man. That's outrageous.
No, I paid 140 for this one shipped, and it graded at 90.
Maybe I'm got that wrong. Maybe it wasn't.
Nick, I think you have originally. Listen, Nick. I think it was probably priced. I don't. Actually, no. Was it 150?
It was 150.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yep. Apologies, guys.
But yeah, 235. That's like what's that? 285 US. That's crazy.
I think Comics and Cocktails, I think, had the Slave One, the second release, 135, I think it was.
Yeah, Zavi were getting rid of a load of them, weren't they? Do you remember?
Yeah, I got a good deal on mine too.
They were like selling, they were like, it wasn't half price, but I tell you what, they were trying to get rid of them, and then before you knew it, they were in demand again because of the fact that we saw the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, and then I regretted not getting another. You know what I mean? For somebody keeping it carded, or whatever, or boxed. Interesting. Right. And what else is on offer apart from that wave there, and obviously the fire spray, Slave One? What else is available, fellas?
That's the Cal Kestis, Luke, Clatoonian Raider, and then the fire spray. Those are the only things I saw.
And that's all there is. Well, I've got them, and unless there's any sign of these retro
collection, but nobody wants that stuff.
No. What about this retro collection? Is that available anywhere? I might have a look on Pulse and see.
I don't know. I didn't look at that.
I'll have a quick look at that.
I think some of them are Pulse exclusive, is what I read, but I can't remember which ones are which.
Yeah, the previous retros were Pulse exclusive, so I'll have a quick look and see what's going on there. Yeah. All righty. Hit the new button, see what we got here.
Doesn't look like it's up on Pulse at the moment, from what I can see originally.
Oh, yeah, they've got these terrible credit. I'm seeing them first on Pulse.
But they're just probably uploading them, Nick, as you go, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Because it looks like they're showing the Starship, Cal Kestis, the Clatoonian Raider, and then you go on to obviously Luke, and then it just takes you straight back to, the others we've already had in that. So,
well, I'll tell you what else. I'll just put it up now because I've just seen it on Pulse. Actually, I like the look of the Vader. Well, the Vader lightsaber would match the Obi-Wan one, but it's very expensive at $289 there on Pulse. $289.99. My God. And but it comes with this kind of lightsaber crystal thing. I noticed this before. I think it might be on here. This was just quite nice. I don't know if the Obi-Wan one does as well, but I just thought because they come on those stands, if you had them on I've got like on my mantelpiece, I've them both stood together, like that. It'd be quite nice, maybe. But it's a lot of money that for a blooming lightsaber. I think I'll stop with the Obi-Wan one. No, I can't seem to see it there, but anyway. Vintage is best PC. I'd rather get a vintage Slave One. And yeah, that's the Padawan collector there, Joey. I just gave up collecting, says Top Banana. Oh, Zavi. What? Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? Crazy stuff. So are we all ordered there, boys?
Yeah,
all done.
I'm ordered. I'm good.
2 Lukes, that's it. That's all I want.
Right, well, if you bear with me, we'll take this conversation in another direction. Let me just stop the screen share of that one.
That is a crazy price, though, guys, isn't it, for that Slave One?
Too much.
Yep. Absolutely.
But some people will buy it, though, won't they? That's the thing.
Well, I did see a couple of things on the Facebook groups earlier, Nick, where I know the price hadn't even been mentioned, but a couple of people have commented, well, I didn't get this a couple of years ago and I'll definitely pick this one up. And you just think, surely you must be able to get it, cheaper.
So this is another website I found before, fellas. I'll show you this. It was just a listed pop insider, just a listing of everything that we had. Can you see that all right yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you can see that, right? Anyway, I was just trying to find an image of the back. I was trying to find, there they all are there. Can you see them? I was trying to find an image of the pipeline for the Return of the Jedi retros, which was quite interesting. But the only image I could find was the one I screen grabbed off a YouTube video, which was a terrible quality video anyway, so that wasn't very good. Yeah, let me see if I can get onto these here. Let's have a look at these. Yeah. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? I don't know if that's big enough or not, fellas. Oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, fellas. There you go. Is that better? You getting that? No, you're not.
No.
You're not getting what I'm getting. I'm on the wrong website.
Literally just seeing the pop inside.
I'm so sorry. I'm on the wrong. I'm looking at the. I'm on the wrong tab. Sorry, fellas. I'll go on back onto that later. Here it is. So, Retro Collection: Return of the Jedi. You've got Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight, Leia Bush, Han Endor, Lando Calrissian, Biker Scout, and Emperor Palpatine. Is there anyone that they're missing there that you would have liked to have seen, or do you think we could expect another 6? Who would they be, man? Oh, I'd love the.
There'll be another 6, won't there?
Go on, let's put our little things in a hat here now, boys. What do you reckon they'll do? What do you want? Drop your 6 in the chat.
Emperor's Royal Guard. I was expecting him to be in that 6, to be honest.
What's he called?
Bib.
Admiral Akbar.
Bib Fortuna, yeah, definitely Bib Fortuna. Admiral Akbar, yes. Maybe 9 Num.
Oh yeah, 9 Num would be good. Yeah, I could go with Lando. Yeah. And what's the 5th one there? Oh, Emperor's Guard. Yeah.
ERG, yeah. Squidhead, maybe.
It. Yeah, Squidhead would be good. Yeah, but they don't have him in TVC. But that might be the prelude to, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll put an honourable mention there of Squidhead, Tessic.
No, Nick, Squidhead.
Squidhead. Oh, all right. There you go. That'll be a nice little tasty 6 and a bit there. You know, Gamorrean. I'd love that to go in the line of Gamorreans on the wall there. Bib 9 Num, Royal Guard, nice. But that was the other thing that was sort of announced. I thought it was great last night, you know, just to see all this new stuff coming in, and just kept going and going and going. Black Series got Kiadi Mundi, Black Crescent in there, Vintage Collection, Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet. I'd have to put up another thing there.
Interesting to see a proper Black Chrysanthemum in the Black Series as well, because that will be a prelude to the Vintage Collection getting one, I would have thought.
That'd be nice.
It'll have to be a
want that.
whole new sculpt and everything, but I could just see the actual finished Vintage Collection figure, and I think it's going to look really, really good.
I gotta have that one.
What about if they do and obviously more in that retro collection for the Return of the Jedi that they gave you, the Imperial Dignitary?
Oh, Simalu?
Yeah.
Maybe a Sebastian Shaw Anakin?
Wow.
That'd be good.
Have a look at these. So that's a good looking arty, that, and that's brilliant. I'm so glad they're doing that. Brilliant.
Pure nostalgia.
You know, the eBay scammers are really happy about the back metallized R2 and C-3PO.
Oh, yes.
I love that. I think it's brilliant. That's one of my favorites. I loved that figure as a kid. R2. Always wanted the popping lightsaber one, though. Here they are again here. Yeah, see what you mean by the face.
Very, very different, Nick, on the Ben.
He looks really grumpy.
He does, doesn't he? Look, is that the best figure? That he looks like the eyes are wonky. Is that the best they could have done for the glam shot?
A really, really, really different head sculpt. Massively different.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan looks like he's constipated.
Oh, and then any thoughts, fellas, on the fact that, I mean, I don't know if the BOE is still in the chat, but I really wanted it to be a vinyl Cape Jawa.
Vinyl Jawa, yeah. Vinyl Cape
that would have been cool.
I think they missed the trick with that one, man. I never
been cheaper for him too.
Sorry, John.
I said it would have been a lot cheaper for him too.
Well, yeah, I never had the Jawa figure, but I never liked that robe. It's just, you know, shatters the. It doesn't look like a Jawa anymore. It's too black, isn't it? A little dark. Right. What else have we got? Yeah. So here he is again. This is the guy. That's a classic. I had that one as a kid.
Yeah.
There you go. The green background there. Actually, yeah, that's right. The car back is that, isn't it? Pill color. And then there we are. I mean, he's quite expensive to get as a second-hand vintage toy. Am I right? I think
He's not cheap. Definitely not, especially the hollow cheeks or the long eye tubes.
Yeah.
What do they go for, John?
The hollow cheeks, I'd say like anywhere from $400 to $800, depending on the grade. The long eye tubes has been surprisingly gone up a lot. I mean, that didn't used to be that expensive, but one really high grade just sold for $760. It was crazy in an auction. So
that was with all the cape and everything else, I'm assuming, and
yeah, graded. I'm talking about high grade, like
right,
AFA grade.
Yeah.
You can get them loose for a little bit more reasonable, but yeah, hollow cheeks sand people, even ungraded, they are very expensive. $200 to $300 easy.
Wow.
You just got one of those, Nick, didn't you, for yourself?
Yeah, I got an original Ben, the white-haired one. It was dead cheap as well. It was only like £6. And then I got the Repro cape, which cost a couple of quid, maybe more, £2.50, £3 from Spain. And then I already had the Repro lightsaber, but I'll be getting one of these loose because that lightsaber will be better than the Repro one I've got.
So here's a nice little something. There's a little something for you. There you go.
Well, I can't see what we're looking at.
Big screen,
Nick.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, boys, when I'm sharing screen, I can't see any of these. But here we go. Look at that. Wow.
Look at that.
Good God.
Ooh.
Is that? and what sort of money are we looking at there, if you don't mind disclosing?
Oh, my God. They've gotten so crazy. It's, I think the last one I saw, AFA 85, sold for $4,000. Somewhere in there. Yeah, they've gone up a lot. Like, it's crazy. Stupid money.
And is it still carded the most expensive vintage?
There's one at Hakes. There's one at auction on Hakes that ends next week. I think it's already up to like 13 or 15,000, something like that. It'll hit 20. It's my guess, somewhere in there.
Good grief! Wow, that's insane, isn't it?
Right, yeah, if you're bored and you want to see some really expensive, I mean, there's a rocket firing Boba Fett prototype that's at 135,000 right now at Hakes. That they all end next Wednesday.
Wow, you got the BOE's ears are pricked up with that one, or his eyes are popping out. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? That. Yeah, BOE was telling us about a year ago before we went to. I think it was before we went to. What the hell do you call it now? Echo Base Live. A figure that he said he passed on that was about 40 quid. It was a Return of the Jedi Leia, I think. I think it was Leia. Is that right, BOE?
They've gone up a lot too. Yeah, you're talking $2,000 or $3,000 for a mint on card Return of the Jedi Leia now. I think he's got two though, so he's okay. I think he's doing okay.
Has he actually got it? I thought he was saying he didn't have it and he regretted not getting it. But no, he said.
No, he might be talking about the Tri-Logo Jawa. He had a chance to get the Tri-Logo Jawa. That the Palatoy Tri-Logo Jawa is 5 figures now. It's $10,000 plus.
It was that.
Thing is, John, it's quite funny when you showed that Jawa. I remember. I mean, I'm going back a long time ago. I was on. Wasn't in. I still obviously had my original stuff, but I was on a little island just outside of the UK, Guernsey, and there was a toy shop, and they had a carded Jawa, pretty much what you've just showed. Obviously, not the graded one, obviously, fully carded. 20 years ago, and I think it was like about 170 quid. And I was thinking, should I buy it? And I was thinking, no, I can't spend that sort of amount of money on a toy figure. I wasn't into the collecting thing then. And then you just think like, oh my God.
Craziness. Crazy.
Madness indeed. Let's just spin on some more images. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, Head On. Let's see what he looks like Head On. Anyway. Oh, and here's 3PO. Let's have a look at this then. Wow, it's great, isn't it? That's just fantastic that they're doing this.
Looks good.
So pleased indeed. And as an adult now, I'll know not to scratch him up like I did as a kid, and all that paint used to come off as it does on back metal. Very crumbly plastic it was as well, wasn't it?
I've got, if you want to see it, I've got one that is non metallized. It's an overstock. If you want to see it.
Yeah, I've gone back so I can see what you're doing now. I'll just leave him on for now. The Death Squad Commander, aka Imperial Navy Commander.
The thing is, Nick, with that, and John, and obviously Dan, you're obviously.
Oh, we are, John. Sorry, I'm not doing me job.
It's okay. I just thought you'd want to see it. This is a Lily Letty made in the Mexico factory, overstock that was never painted, so never assembled, never sonically welded. So, kind of a cool piece because you get to see what the plastic looks like underneath, and it's got an old rusty metal screw that came with it. So.
Wow. How about that? That looks just so naked.
I've never seen anything like that.
What was that? I'm sorry, Dane.
I've never seen anything like that. That's a first for me.
Yeah, they're very, very rare. It's when the Mexican Lily Letty factory went out of business, they all the parts were just in boxes, so they all made it to the black market eventually. And this is just one that was never assembled or painted. So,
wow,
anyway.
Amazing.
Some amazing pieces you can get, with these Bosk things or whatever, what are they called now? What's that crazy price Bosk called again?
The toxic. I'll pull that up. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've just taken you off as well. Put you back on. Yeah. We can all have a break from being on camera while we look at that lovely backdrop there. Look at that.
Yeah, this is the Toxic Limbs Bosk. This is a Spanish hawk figure. It's got the really bright green limbs. So
great.
Light green skin.
Yeah. Crazy. Lighter orange on the legs, isn't it? From the torso and the arms as well. The top part of the outfit.
Yeah, I think they said there's about 20 of these that exist. So I don't know how many for sure, but that's about the right number.
Wow.
We don't even want to dare to ask you, John, what that would be worth.
Oh, well, this was, I got a good deal on this one because it was from a friend of mine, but this was actually used in the making of the book by Javier Ruiz Lopez on the Spanish figure. So this is actually the book used photo sample. So, but mine's a low grade. It's only a 60, but the, higher, I've seen high grade ones go for the highest price I've ever seen is like 5,500, something like there's 5,500, but it was like an 80 grade. It was very, very high grade.
Wow.
Nice.
Speaking of Bosk, the 2-pack, the Boba Fett and Bosk set, I went on In Demand Toys today and I saw they had import stock and it sold out or whatever. And then I panicked and I thought, oh my God, have I missed pre-orders of this or could have bought it somewhere else? But what is the word on that, fellas and people in the chat? Is it actually been released yet? Was it that just an In Demand Toys import thing? I don't really know. I should know these things, but I don't.
Was that originally not meant to be an Amazon exclusive? Was that the one, or
I think it is an exclusive somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it happen? Because I don't want to miss out on that. Is it come out yet?
I don't think it's out yet. I mean, at the time, again, it was for me personally, it was one of those where I was sort of flitting between, quite like what they'd done with the first original retro ones, and then I was like, do I want to get that again? And for me, it was. I'm sorry to say that was a pass for me.
Really?
Yeah, it really was. It really was, Nick. Yeah.
I mean, this is an amazing figure and lovely. It's brilliant. That
it is. It's so good.
See, that should be on a VC card again. Why can't they just give us an upgrade on that figure?
Well,
it doesn't need masses.
Sorry, Mike.
I've got that figure loose. It doesn't need masses and masses of upgrading.
Oh no, they could just reissue that again.
I'm fine with this reissuing it.
Look at the back of the card. That is TVC. That's the precursor to the TVC.
So. No, I know. But
it is it is an Amazon exclusive, Nick.
Is it? And when was that?
Yeah, Amazon exclusive.
Is that past tense?
It is an Amazon exclusive.
Right.
I'm just reading a little.
Punch in the chat if anyone knows if that has come out or what.
It's not out yet. It's not out yet.
Oh, that's all right then. Well,
it's set to debut in January 2023. So that's when it's coming out. It says pre-orders are live right here. Let me just check.
Just while you're looking, Daniel, this was a bad example of a VOTC figure, but this Bosk here was just faultless.
Oh, it's so good.
Brilliant. Yeah. Unpunched card as well. It's great. So I want to get that Bosk retro to go with that,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day get a vintage 80s. I don't know. Who knows, man?
That's one that's really jumped up is Bosk on the vintage Kenner stuff. It's just gotten crazy.
Really?
Craziness.
Yeah, let me get me off big screen here, man. Let's get back to there we go. Right.
Nick, I'm sending you a link to what I just found about that set.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
On Amazon, I'll just send it to you there. It'll come through to you now.
I did say I thought it was an Amazon exclusive, but
Amazon exclusive.
And then we've got BOE who says Bosk is hot. And what do you think about the figure? You see what I did there? Huh?
I see what you did
there? And look at this, all the way from Canada, 270. Thank you very much, Dr. Wizzy, with a little super chat there.
Wizzy is a very generous guy. I know him very well. He's a good guy.
I love, I get a lot of voice notes off him, man. He cracks me up. I love it. We have good discussions back and forth. I love all that.
He likes bragging about that Emperor's Wrath VC 115 because I don't have one. So thank you for making that your avatar, Wizzy. I appreciate that. Why don't you rub it in? It's like salt in the wound, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, ruler, man. I had, oh man, this was Christmas 2016, and when you forget to put your bid in on eBay and something, £20 I could have got one of them for back in 2016. It was around like the end of December. I was at a bloody Panto thing, sat in the crowd, and I was like looking at my phone, and then I just completely forgot, and then boom, it was gone.
I still do it to this day. Unfortunately, it happens with kids.
You need the eBay. I still haven't got the eBay auction sniper, man.
It's the best. Yeah, that's the best. I use it all the time. It's great.
I haven't sampled its delights yet, and I think we've been around the horn now. But let's just have another look at this lovely picture of R2. I love that, man. That's just great. Love it. Anyway,
little story about vintage R2. I'm a member of a diorama group on Facebook that was set up and is run by an American fella. His name's Dwayne. And a couple of years ago, he was working in London for a while. So we arranged to meet. And we met outside the Houses of Parliament. And we had a little mooch about in London. And we actually went to Forbidden Planet in Shaftesbury Avenue. And then we went to a restaurant and had a meal, and we had a brilliant chat, and everything was great. And he actually brought a vintage R2-D2 with him, and he says to me, he takes it everywhere he goes, and he takes photos of it all around the world. And he put it on the railings outside the Houses of Parliament, and he took a photo of it from down on his knees with Big Ben in the background with this and it's all beat up. All the stickers are all hanging off of it. It's all chipped and scuffed. And it was brilliant because he said he takes it everywhere he goes.
Oh, wow. What a great idea that is, man.
It was fantastic. I mean, he showed me some of the pictures. He's been to many places in Europe, all over North America and everywhere. And he just said everywhere he goes, he takes it with him and takes pictures.
That's awesome.
What a brilliant idea.
There's a guy on Instagram who does the same thing with Admiral Akbar. It's like Admiral Akbar's Travels or Akbar's Travels, something like that. And it'd be on the beach one day, and then I wonder if you put an Admiral Akbar next to a plate of fried calamari, if he would be grossed out or not. I don't know.
He wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it.
Yeah, it's like cannibalism for him.
You could take him to Jamaica, and you'd say, "Yeah, man, calamari." Sorry.
It's gross.
That work?
Wonder if a pig would eat a bacon sandwich.
I love that on Mando 2 when they served that lovely a cup of what did he ask for? Some chowder from my friend here.
Yeah.
He served the soup. It comes from that thing from the ceiling, and then he just stabs it with. That was brilliant. It was so subtle, wasn't it? And the humor and everything. I loved it, man. That second season, brilliant.
Me too.
The Mandalorian is by far the best show that Disney have released by a long way.
It's got its critics though, hasn't it? Season 2. I've heard people moan about it, but I loved it, man.
Me too.
All right, Shabby.
All right, Shabby.
Hey, all right, mate. Cheers, mate. Brilliant. Right. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all we can talk about with those reveals, fellas. And there's some good stuff there. What excites you the most out of what we've seen at SDCC, fellas? Let's go round the table. Action figure grader. Or should I give you something?
I just love that Luke card back. I had to have it. The rest of it I could do without, but I got the Clatoonian Raider, and I did pick up one Cal Kestis, but that Luke was that card back just because it was one of the best moments in The Mandalorian, in my opinion. And to finally get that captured on an action figure was just perfect.
Yeah.
You saying that, John? We talked about this Luke figure, or hoping that they'd release one in previous live streams, and we talked about the card back. Nick may remember, and I would have liked to have seen on the card back the image where Luke just takes his hood off of his robe when he says hello to Grogu. No. That's the one I wanted to see.
Or the elevator opening or something. That would have been pretty cool, you know.
I totally disagree with that, Daniel, and I'll tell you why. I mean, the CGI. I mean, I was going to bring that up with you, fellas. Are you looking forward to the day when they redo the face? What do you call it now? Deep fake of that was not so good. It was good in Book of Boba Fett, but why on earth would you want to see? It didn't shout. I loved the moment, and I got quite emotional watching it and all that. But still, when he took his hood off, I thought, oh, not so good. But I still loved it and went with it all. But I tell you what, the face was left a lot to be desired.
Let's be honest, though, Nick. We couldn't really see his face clearly because we all had tears in our eyes.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Well said.
It's true, isn't it? Everyone on that did.
And when he handed over Grogu, that kind of got me kind of emotional again. You know, it was beautiful, all of that, man. Poignant.
Good. It's just allergies, man. It was just allergies for me.
Something in your eye.
Those darn onions. They get me every time. Crichton. Yeah.
I mean, going back to reveals from SDCC, for me, the most important thing about the whole convention was the confirmation that we are keeping the bubbles. For me, that topped everything, because it now means that
good point.
It now means the 96 are more likely to be finished than not. We're still going to get these great cards. You know, the nostalgia is still going to be running free, and the line is healthy. It's going to keep going forward, isn't it, and getting better and better. The figures are getting better as every year goes by. So yeah, that for me was the best part of all the reveals, the confirmation.
Yeah. I changed mine. To what Daniel said. So
yeah,
because it opens up. I mean, it opens up a whole world of opportunity, doesn't it, going forward?
Yeah.
So that for me, and Piet as well. I mean, I'm, as Nick knows, and many people know, I'm a original trilogy nut, and I do like the Mandalorian. So I only collect original trilogy figures and Mandalorian stuff. I've got rid of all my other stuff. So the fact we're getting Piet, and like I said earlier, we can now get many other officers with that sculpt. I'm actually hoping they can rectify the Great Moff Tarkin, because the green. What was all that about? Why is he wearing green? And why has he got that silly soft skirt? I mean,
well, I never had that figure loose. I thought it was all right. An interesting thing, like
the head sculpt is not right. Is okay for its time.
I thought the color matched is what I mean. You know,
it's just not right. No, I mean, it's not. It should be great. It should be great, shouldn't it?
Can I thank everybody who's watching? We've got 103 watching. That's because we've got the action figure radar on. We never usually peak ratings like this. Oh, we've just dropped to 99.
Not true. Not true.
But if you are here, I think they have 45 likes. Or, well, we don't know if they're likes or not nowadays, do we? You know what I mean? There could be unlikes, but still, they are interactions. But smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for sticking with us. We're not quite done yet. We'll be hanging out a little bit longer, but not too much.
I've got to go, Nick.
Oh, no, John, you're bringing in the ratings, man. You can't leave now.
No, well, I mean, I am good looking and very brave, but I do have to go.
You can better than me. You make me. I mean, in fact, why have I got you there? Can I drag you away from me? Like, how do I move this around here? There you go. Oh, no, I'll get him as far away. There you go. Made no effing difference there, man. Bouncing around. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching, whoever is still here. And we did our orders, and we got all that done as well, which is good. Anyway, Michael, are you still with us, Mike? You've gone quiet.
Yeah, absolutely.
There,
no.
What was your final thoughts, Mike, on the SDCC? And did you look at any Black Series stuff or anything like that?
No, I mean, I've picked up a couple of Black Series stuff just to do, a little bit of reviews on my channel recently, just for mucking about. It's weird. In terms of the thing that I like the most, I mean, was probably getting the speeder bike, really, as part of the line, as a re-release. yeah, obviously, as Daniel and John said, yeah, of course, the bubbles is the most important thing. But we've been so overdue a speeder bike. So for me, that was, other than the bubbles, that would have probably been the pick for me. Going against the grain, I mean, as much as I think that Luke Skywalker figure is lovely, and I know you and I have spoken about this before, Nick. It's just they just seem to just keep giving us so many Lukes, and I am going against the grain with that in terms of, look, I'll buy it, no problem. I've already pre-ordered, so it's not an issue.
Means the kit bashing can stop, the customizations can stop, and you've got that very different card back. In fact, speaking of the card back, green or orange, boys, do you think they should make that change?
Green,
yeah, green,
sure.
yeah, totally.
But for me, Nick, it should have just been the final thing. Should have just been. I just want us to, just like everybody else probably in this line, we need Han, Luke, Leia, and Obi-Wan. The real sort of big hitters from the original, and I'd just like to have seen something down there. Now, look, like now that, as everybody else has said, the line's not going to go away in terms of the bubbles and everything else. You can pretty much guarantee you're going to get them, but it's a when, so. I just would have liked to have seen that, but the rest of it, listen, it's all good. There was nothing bad there, was there, at the end of the day? There's nothing that you go, oh, I'm not keen, other than, for me, the fire spray, starship, fucking slave one.
Can you stop cursing? You can't curse.
Tell us how you really feel, Mike.
It's 11 o'clock here, so it's fine. I'm over the watershed. But to me, that was the weakest link there, personally.
But had they not announced the bubbles, I would have probably been a bit annoyed about the well, not annoyed, but disappointed and worried, nervous, thinking, God, yet less TV, original trilogy stuff, 96 or whatever. But it's all good, man. It's all good. They'll come. Those three will come. The big three: Han, Luke, and Leia. They've got to.
Question for you, Mike.
Yes, Dan.
The point you made on Han, Leia, Luke, and Ben.
Yeah.
Would you rather see those before we get Hammerhead, Squidhead, Ugnaughts, AT-AT Driver? Some of the ones we haven't got that are missing. What would you rather first?
Personally, I would, Dan, only because although we know that we think they're coming, and obviously, yes, they have to come.
Stay there,
but you've got to also look at it from the point of view of what they keep talking about. Yes, we're getting loads of stuff from the new series, which is great. And obviously some of the figures that we've got recently are off the scale, aren't they, in terms of the articulation, with the butterfly hinges and the rocker ankles and the wrists and everything else. And so I just think, me personally, I would have liked to have had those. I think everybody else has been calling out for them. I don't think it's just me. There are loads of other things that we would like down the line, Dan. But I mean, I would rather those first than the other ones that you've just mentioned. That's all.
Okay.
They've already brought out the TVC A-Wing HoloNet. You just missed the pre-orders.
Sorry
about that. No, I'm only joking. This came to me from Blizzard Force Customs, man. It was a brilliant customization.
That is incredible.
That's a really nice box. That is a great box.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, it's really nice. That's what you need this year instead of whatever we're having to pay for another whatever.
How does it hold up against the other boxes?
It's next year. Sorry, you go on, Mike. Daniel, what do you say?
How does that stand up to the proper boxes? Is it the same kind of gloss?
It's sturdy. It's that kind of plasticky kind of like I don't know.
Can you tell when you put them side by side? Can you tell that it's not? Is it much different to an original?
Shine wise, it's got that sheen that the cardboard would, but it's just really it's not the same texture. It's not.
Dan,
it might have an element of paper in it, but it's heavily plasticized. That's a
Daniel, you'll know this. So if you on the Facebook groups, there's a guy in Birmingham. I'm sure you'll know him, that does the reproduction boxes.
I don't actually know.
Have you not seen some of his stuff, Dan? I can't remember. Oh God, off the top of my head. The quality in terms of the colouring is off the scale. It's just thinner cardboard stock.
Okay.
But I believe he had the licenses to reprint in terms of like using the original colouring and everything else. So the quality you get if you just want a reproduction box and inserts are fantastic. Just the box is thinner, but the colours are absolutely superb. So you can go back and get yourself.
Okay, you'll have to point me in the right direction.
From 1983, and it looks, for just displaying, it looks brilliant. It looks absolutely brilliant.
Just before, because you have to, Salacious Run, question for the action figure grader here.
He's doing a camo brag. Salacious bought a graded Lily Letty Salacious Chrome. So he's just doing a camo brag. I know you got it. Congratulations. It's a pretty awesome item. It's actually really hard to find that, to find the Mexican version of that. So I'm glad you got it. If there's anybody that should have that rare item, it's you. So congrats.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Without doubt.
But you could always look in the eye through the camera, John, and do the Wayne's World. It will be mine. Oh, yes.
It will be mine.
Yeah. That would have been, that's funny. Talking about trilogies the other day, that's the film that would have made they did 2 films of Wayne's World. The third one would have been awesome. I loved that franchise, but it never happened. Better not do it now, though. It would be terrible. Would not work, would it? Anyway, digressing. Right. I think I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about here, fellas.
That's good, because I have to go, as I've already told you.
Well, John, just very quickly before you go, John, because I do want to do another live stream. I'd love to get you onto this next live stream as well, but I want to talk about like our items that have kind of like gone up in value that started as just a normal piece, because you can spend a lot of money on items and stuff, as we know, that's already that value. But this is something I just bought as a normal figure, and
keep rubbing it in. Go ahead, rub it in again. Then you have one.
Yeah. Kick him while he's down.
I'm the biggest doctor after. I have like all of our first appearance comics and a CGC 9.8. I've got the regular TVC release and a 95 grade. I've got the SDCC 3-pack, but I don't have that, and I hate you for it.
Wow. I mean, I don't understand. I still don't believe that it's as expensive as it is.
What's different about that one? Sorry, am I missing
the warning?
Right.
This is a European without the warning on the front. It's very expensive.
I can't believe it's as rare as it has become, because I just bought this like everybody else in the UK did, and as far as I'm concerned, I could have potentially have opened that. I
was going to say, Nick, I probably opened it. I did probably open it.
I sold my one. I bought one as well, and I sold it for retail price on one of the Facebook groups.
What, the European one? Honestly,
yeah, one of those. Yeah, I had a European one of those. European Rogue One tank commander.
Oof.
And what was the other one? I had another one. I can't remember what it was now.
That's it, Dan. You just upset John before he's got to go. Yeah, just keep upsetting him.
I've got, when the Entertainer had all those figures after figures after figures for silly money. Yeah. I picked them up from there. I can't remember what the other one was now, but it was in amongst that load of figures that we were buying regularly.
Was it Cassian Andor that had that card back too? I can't remember. Somebody like that.
It was either Cassian or Chewbacca. One of those two. I've kept the Chewbacca obviously because it's original trilogy, but the figures from the other things from Rogue One, from Solo, and all that, I punted them on. And
it's funny because actually when those I don't know if you guys remember the I think it was the Rey figure. As part of that line,
we were doing so well.
No. Hang on, Dan. I just want to say, but it was the Entertainer at like £3, and they had hundreds of them. But originally, it was quite. I believe it was quite. I think it was quite a difficult figure to get hold of. I think it was quite limited for a certain period of time, and then literally. All of the, I don't know, they're still peg warming in the Entertainer, aren't they? But so
I think the Rey figure from the Last Jedi, the other one. Is it Last Jedi or?
I think the one where she's wearing the cape or whatever it is the one I was thinking about.
The first one or the second one? The second one was very rare.
I don't know. It used to be rare, the Ray Island Journey, but then there was tons of them in the entertainment.
Sorry, Nick, that was the one. The Ray Island Journey originally was quite difficult to get hold of,
It
and then all
was.
of a sudden,
You spent a lot of money on it, didn't you?
And then all of a sudden, they were everywhere in the entertainment.
You can't get rid of them. And John, Action Figure Grader, that's the other item I have that is kind of maybe could be rare. I don't know if anyone would want to spend money on it, but it's a Ray Island Journey. I think I've told you this before. The US one had the multi-language and nothing in the bubble. Then then the UK one had single pill with a leaflet in the bubble, but I have a US card with the multi-language with a leaflet in the bubble. So that's obviously some kind of factory error.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. It has to be, I would think. Yeah, factory error.
Has that got any value graded?
I don't know. I don't think people really care about the paperwork that much, to be honest. I think it's more like it's all about the missed cards. Those are the ones
about the missed cards. And
those
obviously
prices are just
it's got to be a popular character as well, maybe, or some kind of rarity involved in it or something. But that's just like a tiny little glitch, isn't
something visual that really attracts the attention. Like, like when you have the Mandalorian on a Boba Fett card or whatever, Ahsoka on a Darth Maul card back. I mean, those things are just, they sell for like $1,000 now. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I regret. Speaking of the entertainer, John, I should have bought a snowtrooper that had his eyes were not painted. If they hadn't been blacked.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And it was $375, and I was just waiting to go to the cinema with my mate. I went into the entertainer, and I thought, I can't be bothered I had so many things for $375 at the time, and I didn't buy it. I should have bought that because that was an error or whatever.
Yeah, you should have.
Oh well.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad call. That was
Bad
a really
call.
bad call.
Anyway, all right, cool. So should we wrap this up, fellas? Because I know John has to leave, and
Well, you guys can keep going. I mean, it's not like I set the tone here. I'm just saying that I need to get going. So,
cool, man. Well, we can always hang out a bit longer if you need. But we'll let you go, John, and we want to keep going.
Thanks for having me on, Mike and Daniel. I don't know if we've met before or not. If we have, I apologize.
No, great to meet you.
I really enjoyed it, guys.
Open to John.
I'll leave the link to John's channel in the description. Sorry, Dan, I'm talking over you there. Sorry. I will leave links to all these gentlemen. We won't be leaving quite yet, so hang out with us a little longer. We'll go up to 2 hours. Why not? But
all right, guys. Thanks again, man.
Cheers, John. Thank you John, for coming on.
Cheers. See you guys.
John, the action figure grader, ladies and gentlemen, and he's out of there. And then there were 3. Unless anyone wants to jump on, I don't know. Can we do that? Is that big? Don't know. I don't know how you do all that. Just put a link in the chat. We have some random people on. I don't know. Live TV, nuts. Some people do that, don't they? Like they just say, "Yeah, drop a link." And
have you seen it done though, Nick?
Nick,
have you seen it done when they said jump in? Have you actually yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I suppose some people don't particularly want to go on it, but it would be nice if it's someone we know and you recognize them and you think, that's so and so. He's been watched my channel for years and come on and. I don't know. I've never done that really. Maybe I should do that around Christmas. Have a bit of an open house thing or something. But, yeah. So anyway, that was just something I wanted to bring up with John because I don't know what my most expensive piece is now, but that must be now up there. Damn it. I didn't ask him before he left. He did say something about the price of this before. He said something about $600, $700 or something. But what would it be graded? It's crazy. I can't get over that, fellas. Nuts, isn't it? Mad.
Yep.
I mean, that Chewbacca's not as rare, and that's the same kind of deal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say now, fellas. I was now thinking about should I put a link in the chat and then see who turns up. What about Wizzy? Are you there, Darth Wizzy Wizard? You wanted to come on and talk. Do you want to come on for the last 15? He says yes, open. Oh yeah, he says yes, an open house. So how do I do this? I've got a link I could maybe send to the guy. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. If I copy that to I know what I can do. I can send it to him on Instagram.
Were you guys overall happy then with what you saw from that SDCC releases? I mean, in terms of was it what you were expecting? I suppose not happy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when we get these streams and these announcements and these reveals, I think we all expect a little bit too much. Because they have so many during the year, don't they? We think, we want this figure, that figure, this figure, that figure. We expect them to reveal like 10 different brand new figures every single time. And they're just not going to do that, are they? As long as we get 1 or 2 new ones and we get pipeline reveals and promises of newer ones further down the line, I'm quite happy with that. Happy with that. But like I said earlier, the bubbles. That's
absolutely. The bubbles was the most important thing there. I suppose the only other thing that you may have wanted from that, I wouldn't say a pipeline, but maybe thinking about future HasLab projects. I know again we don't need to talk about it in detail.
Well,
we could talk about that because that's all that's very relevant.
But generally, Nick, you and
Not
I
about that. We should
will certainly talk about the same sort of one. So I don't want to bore your listeners with that. Do you know what I mean? But it'd be interesting to, I suppose, what the shame is from the point of view of the sort of 2 Black Series ones that they've done have failed. I mean, the Reaver lightsaber was a complete disaster from day one.
Nobody asked for it, did they?
No, but the thing is, Dan, I don't suppose it's necessarily about asking for things. Look, at the end of the day, they're trying to push certain types of content, and I get that. I completely get that. But you also do have to question, like you said, somebody on these channels must be, I'm not saying watching, but look, you've got people on YouTube with, really, really big followers, like Nick, obviously Tim, Bosk, etc. And, there's a few more, obviously there are others, of course there are. But the conversations that, you then get involved with and with the people, you generally tend to get the sort of same, I wouldn't say sort of, I'm not saying concept, but it tends to be the same sort of things that come up, generally speaking, 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 different ideas. And you would, that are probably welcomed by the community, and none of them get picked up on. And you think to yourself, well, who are they listening to? That's the thing, because it just seems that those, the Reaver lightsaber just seems so left field, just completely left field.
Definitely.
It was just so off the scale. It just didn't make sense. It's just so random. But
I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because I haven't spoken publicly really. I did one video, but it's that it's kind of forgotten a bit about now. But that was unbelievable, wasn't it? It's all come and gone, and that was insane. A total fail, that 2 in a row.
But do
obviously, this SDCC has distracted everybody about that now, I guess.
It is.
But still.
Do you know what's also interesting? What I find quite bizarre, if you actually go on to the Hasbro website, all right, and I'm sure everybody will have seen this. You go onto the Hasbro website and you go onto the HasLab projects. They talk about, and you look at what's in production, what's previous, blah, 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 blah. The Razor Crest doesn't appear on there.
No.
As previous, concepts through to production. And yet it sold almost 28,000 units. Why is that not on there? It's just so weird. Yes, the barge was limited in terms of people in the UK, Europe, Australia that, struggled to get it.
Oh, they could have doubled that, Mike, right?
I know, of course they could have done. They easily could have done, Nick. We know that. And obviously the Razor Crest showcased that. But on if you go onto Hasbro Pulse and look online, I'm telling you, I know you're looking at it now, Dan. That's cool. They don't show the Razor Crest as a previous project, and yet it's probably their biggest selling item.
Wait a minute, Mike. So are you talking about Pulse here?
Yeah. So if you go onto Hasbro,
no. I've seen it on Pulse.
No, it's not there, Nick. Doesn't come up.
Really?
Hasn't been up. It hasn't never come up as a previous project.
Well, I almost don't believe. I'm going to bring in Darth Wizzy Wizard here. Should we bring him on?
But
you can join this conversation. Hey, Wizzy, man.
Guys.
How's it going?
Hey, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You guys,
how's it going?
You guys
both in
okay?
Canada. Yeah, man.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Oh, Canada. I'm on satellite internet, so it's not. I don't know is it coming through okay?
No, that's
yeah,
good.
you're all good.
Yeah, all good.
All good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good to see your kind of a face reveal almost on Dean's a couple of weeks ago, whenever that was.
Yeah, well, I got a haircut since then, so
yeah, that's right. You're like
in the town I live in, you have to take you gotta call the barber and schedule an appointment now for like a week or two ahead of schedule. So sometimes I skip out on a haircut for about a month or two.
Yeah, BOE, I sent you a link as well, man. If you want to jump on, that'd be awesome just to finish us off, man. I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, finish us off. No, but just join in, BOE, if you want. That'd be awesome. We only got like 10 minutes left. We've been on for 2 hours, but it's nice to bring in some people just to finish this off.
I think BOE is away visiting somewhere. I saw in the chat earlier on.
Yeah, he said he's not at home.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Yeah, out of town. That's okay.
And Nick, just to clarify, Mike is right. I've just gone on the Hasbro Pulse site. All the HasLabs are there. The G.I. Joe Striker, Galactus, all those. And Razor Crest is not there. And then even when you search Pulse's search bar and type in Razor Crest, absolutely nothing comes
but
up.
The barge, is it the barge I saw? And then maybe I forgot about looking for the Razor Crest. Is that there?
Yeah, the barge is there. But that's the point I was just trying to make was if you actually looked at the most successful projects that they've done, the Razor Crest is probably the most successful one, and yet there's not one mention of it.
No, Mike, I understand the point you were trying to make. It's just I didn't believe it. I just thought I'd seen it. That's all. I could have sworn I had, but obviously, no, I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Dark Wizzy, sorry, can you put that card back up? You just showed us.
Let me put you on full screen. I'm also going to get on Pulse in a minute, fellas. We're going to have a look at this officially. Let me just put this big. Yeah, no, there we go.
Oh, that's a super card.
Oh yeah. I've got 2 of these, and this is the clear lightsaber version.
Thanks for subbing.
I don't know how that's
fat boy.
Have you got the blue lightsaber version as well?
No, when you get it, you're getting on eBay, and there's been so many that I've been bid out, outbid on some of these items.
I love that. Get out. Brett the Hitman Hart.
Nick, what are you going on about?
Yeah, Nick, what are you going on about?
I'm sorry, fellas. You must have got used to that by now. Sorry, I'm just trying to do a Canadian accent badly. I'm just going to get on Pulse. You keep on talking there, fellas. I'll go on Hasbro Pulse now. Someone's just said they saw it in past projects.
It's not there. It hasn't been there for yonks.
Well, that's terrible, that, isn't it? It's almost like they're brushing the success under the carpet, isn't it? What? Well, I don't know. Possible. Right, I'm going to share screen. We got Pulse on.
Can we go back to Darth Wizzy's image?
Yeah, Darth Wizzy. He was outbid for the blue lightsaber. We were just getting to the nitty gritty then.
Yeah, there it is. And let me see. I'm doing this on my iPhone here, so I'm trying to make sure. Does that come through okay? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the second one that I've got of Luke, and that's VC44. The one that I was really trying to get was that, and I've got 2 of them. I've got the proof card and then the sticker version of the Slave Leia. Oof. But that one's expensive, and I've been I remember last year when it was creeping up in price, and I was just like, I'll wait, I'll get it. Yeah, right now it's a good 500 Canadian.
Wow.
This is the only one I've got, Wizzy. That's the one with the get the right side there. See that one there? What's that? It's got a name, that, hasn't it? It's not a sticker, that. It's on the card. Is that something to do with Pure UK or something, or Pure Europe, whatever they call it?
Yeah, I've got the warnings symbol on mine. I don't know. I have another.
Look at that.
I'd have to look at it. I noticed that.
I had a few of those actually, Nick. I went through a phase where I couldn't remember what I was buying, and I think I ended up buying about 5 of those.
Yeah,
different. I did have the light blue and the normal blue, and I ended up just selling a few off on eBay. Quite a few years ago now, so not like we weren't talking silly money or whatever, but again, just didn't realize the differences at the time between what do you know what I mean? The light, when you got the clear lightsaber and the blue, etc., etc.
Well, because of you, Mike, it's one of the most expensive figures I've opened. I opened one that.
Yeah, well,
But you know what? I can forgive you, Mike, because they haven't reissued it, so it's still quite a good.
Is it? I
loose
thought
piece.
I heard a rumor. I don't know whether this is true. I can't remember who said it. Is that not rumored to be one that they're potentially looking at, or am I just making this up?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, good. I'm making it up then.
Well, no, it's hard to. It's like before I did a video and I said, "Oh, when Starkiller is going to be," I couldn't remember if Starkiller was coming back out or I just dreamt it because it's just like a head, like what you make up in your head, like with your own wish list, and then what's reality. You know, it's funny.
The thing is, what you have had with it, though, guys, and you can always look at this. You know, they have given us some re-releases of figures that were quite difficult to get on the secondary market, haven't they? Quite recently, do you know what I mean? With like Shay Vizsla, for example, was something I never got that originally at all, and I wasn't prepared to pay £130 or whatever it was that they were asking.
And you're an opener, Mike, aren't you? You don't do second hand. That's for damn sure.
No, don't do anything second hand. I can't do the second. Sounds really silly. I'm very childish, but I can't do second hand. It's got to be. I'll take it out of the box myself. So.
The thing about this mic, though, is I had that. And it was punched. It wasn't unpunched, but I'm sure it was the US. I don't know what it was. It was different from this, and I wasn't thinking even.
But Nick, that was like in
variants,
2016 or whatever, wasn't it? So the values would have been very, very different as well. It would have been what? What did you probably pay for it? It's 50.
It was about 2017 that I think, but
50
know,
quid, maybe 60
quid.
It
was worth about 50 then, 50
right.
quid. So still, it was expensive to open that. It was, prior to that, the most expensive thing I ever opened was Revan, 30th anniversary. That was 41 quid.
But then, to be fair, Nick, you blame me for a lot, don't you? Because I got you involved in the ships.
No, I don't blame you. You keep saying that. Oh, Nick, I've made you do this and all that. Bloody... No,
you've told me, not the other way around.
I haven't. You've just made that bit up, Mike.
Mike, have you got the Millennium yet?
Sorry?
Mike, did you get the Millennium Falcon yet?
Which one?
He's got about 10 in his lockup.
Oh, does he? I wasn't sure if you had that one. I remember listening to you on a live stream, and I guess
no, I have. I've got the. I do have a legacy one, which is unopened.
How many, Mike? How many legacy ones?
3.
Oh, really?
And one of the newer ones.
Yeah, what's that doing on the secondary market? The Galaxy's Edge one, is that high or
about 10?
It's like 600 to 700 US.
All right.
But if you're on Facebook, I've seen them. You could probably snatch one for $600, like Canadian. So
what is that?
Depending.
Is that the Galaxy's Edge one?
It is lovely, that one. Oh, I love looking at that ship. It's amazing. The weathering's brilliant. As long as you've got the right antenna on, you don't want that stupid anyway.
Leave it.
It's good that they gave you that alternative, Daniel, isn't it? Really?
I mean, it is the most iconic vehicle that we've ever had in Star Wars. If you're a collector, you've got to have that vehicle. End of. Whichever one you choose and which one you think is the best, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't get any better than that, does it, in terms of vehicles that we've had? I mean, some of the stuff that, I've seen the videos, obviously, Nick, with the, the Razor Crest and those sort of things. And obviously the barge, of course, don't get me wrong. But, if you're just talking about, going from the original trilogy, that is the most iconic. I mean, I remember getting Millennium Falcon when I was a child, and I think I can't remember. Obviously, I don't remember what I mean. What I do know is if you do a little bit of history and research, and you look at how much it cost back then, I think it was probably, my parents, bless them, weren't particularly well off, and obviously I badgered them to death, saying, I wanted this, and £20 or £25 was obviously an incredible amount of money back in the early 80s, and obviously, that they, bought me a Millennium Falcon, and it's still probably, I've still got my original Falcon in a lockup, It isn't boxed, by the way. It is completely, you know, but I still have all of the original training ball, everything in it. Apart, the only thing that I don't have in the original one is the inserts, because me going back to sort of wanting a bigger ship, I pulled the, you know, that sort of insert that sits in the tray. I pulled that out because I wanted to make the ship bigger, which is the only issue that I have with when they reissued this Vulcan. I was like, I said to Nick and Dan and everyone else, don't want a soundboard in it. Just give me a completely open ship.
Oh God! How many times do we have to hear this?
No, but
I think we've heard it, Mike. We've heard it.
I'm putting some concept to the backdrop of it, Nick. That's why. Do you know what I mean? So for example,
when I meet Hasbro, I'm going to throttle. So I'm going to say, why the hell didn't you take the soundboard out? Because I'm sick of hearing my mate Mike going on about it. Jesus.
Is there a soundboard in there, Mike?
I'm sorry. No, listen, guys. Sorry about that.
What was that, Daniel? 50 words when you can say 3. What's this?
And the thing is, Dan, it goes back to the point. Even back then, as a kid, I wanted it to be bigger. So you know, there you go.
Don't we all?
Yeah. No. Do you know what, Mike? Honestly, I totally agree. If they had like the donut interior going all the way around, and in fact, that's an incentive if they did the one for Solo, because they had more of you saw more of the sleeping quarters, didn't you, and all that in Solo. I like that.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't think
living area.
I don't think you can, you know, in that scale, you probably can't make that vehicle too much bigger. You're just not, you know, you probably couldn't. If they did a HasLab project, it would be enormous, wouldn't it? And then where the hell would you put that? Nick, I've seen your videos of where you put yours on a table. If that was another size and a half of that, you just wouldn't. It's just.
No, I think it could go a few more. I mean,
really,
look at the length of the barge. I mean, the barge is narrow, isn't it? Fair enough, so you can sort of park it. Compartmentalize, is that the right word? You know, you can slot it, but this has got width, hasn't it? But I still think they could maybe up it a bit more. But then again, a shuttle Tidarium, that'll be big, and that's what Imperial Communique was talking about to Hasbro, wasn't he? He threw a few names at them in that interview. I don't know if you've seen Imperial Communique's interview, people in the chat, but he didn't mention the Sandcrawler, and I really wanted him to throw that because that's the one that I thought was don't go there.
Darth Wizzy. Darth Wizzy, what's the best vehicle you've got?
Oh, you mean OG Kenner, or do you mean
any?
Well, I mean, now, unfortunately, I made a huge mistake in 2008, and I sold pretty much most of my original loose Kenner figures that I collected as a kid. Yeah, I did it. And, you know, I was 28, 29 at the time, and what a mistake. But and I had the Millennium Falcon. I had the Ewok Village. I had an AT. Yeah, that they should redo that. They should do that one. I think that should definitely come in the next 2 years. I think the Ewok Village, 100%. But the best one I have now, I don't know. I mean, I bought some of the new TVC AT-ATs. I have I don't know. I guess my favorite would probably be the Imperial TIE Interceptor. This one up here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know. It's in the corner there, but that's probably my favorite one because I always wanted that one. But you know, obviously all the OG, the original Star Wars trilogy is you know, that's where it's at for me. And then, you know, Mandalorian's come in, but you know, so I'm just catching up. I just got back into it because of guys like Only One Kenobi, and you know, seeing you guys, Daniel and Mike, and you know, so I just got back into it because a large portion of it because of you guys. So
wow,
you know, it was sort of something that I put off on the side. I was like, oh, forget it, because I remember the Power of the Force 2 days where everyone was buying all the stuff, and then you had the Phantom Menace, and I was just like, forget it, man. I'm doing other things. You know, you got to concentrate with life, hitting the bars, girls, things like that. And but I just thought I would buy all this stuff on clearance. What a big mistake, you know, that people would be dumping their collection. Then I came back in 2020, and I see that they started making the figures the way I really wanted, with the proper Star Wars checkering on the TVC, and I was just like, shit. I totally missed the you know, the ship, right? So, and then the prices were going right through the roof. You know,
Was there anything that you ever managed to pick up on clearance that suddenly you've gone, you know, did you ever manage to pick anything up on clearance that suddenly rocketed? I'm not worried about pricing, but what I'm saying is, did you pick up something on clearance that now you think, wow, what a great pickup?
The best that I came close to was back in the 80s as a kid, where sometimes you'd have stuff on sale, you know, at Zeller's or something like that. And, you know, they'd bring out bins of Return of the Jedi tri-logos and stuff like that. That was the best time that I've ever got anything on clearance. So I've only got back into really collecting recently, just in the last 2 years. So, I mean, a bit during the 90s, you know, when they did the Power of the Force, but then I didn't like the steroid figures, and, you know, you got to go to the clubs and do other types of stupid stuff. And I just lost interest. And then, you know, you had the prequels, which, you know, at the time, pretty much everybody I knew, including myself, we weren't very fond of the prequels. I wasn't even fond of the special editions that they launched in the theaters. I didn't even bother really watching those, you know, because when they started adding scenes, I was just like, this is a cash grab, you know, from George Lucas. Nothing against the guy, but, you know, I kind of got turned off of Star Wars because I was a huge, like, if, you know, as a kid, I was absolutely obsessed, you know, so I understand that part of it, you know, in the early 80s, but in the late 90s, you know, I just got kind of turned off from it. And then Mandalorian came on. A friend of mine told me to give it a go. And then I was just like, oh shit, this is actually really good. So
the thing is with the Mando, the thing with the Mando and why people sort of, I think it pulls a lot of people back in on that side of things, because it does hark back so much to, there's so much of that original feel to it, isn't there, with Mando? That's the thing, I think. So I think that's why obviously it's been so popular, not just in terms of, it was a great series, but it just for collectors like, you know, us guys here, it was a throwback to what the originals, you know, was similar, very
the
much.
Feel of it, Mike. It was a feel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the feel. Sorry, that's
taste, everything. It was great.
Yeah. I think Lack there just hit it on there. The 1997, the special editions, that didn't go over well with none of my friends. Like, we were all into Star Wars of all ages. You know, it didn't matter what whether you were, you know, you're a football guy or whatever. As soon as you put on Star Wars, everyone was glued to the television. People would say they hated it back then, and then as soon as it's on TV, people loved it. That's how powerful it was.
Yeah.
But once they did the special editions, though, I remember everybody was just like, especially on the Return of the Jedi, when they added that scene with the Jabba, you know, when he's inside the palace there, and they give that whole musical there. It looks so I don't know, like Lion King or something. Something
worst,
from a different.
When they added Jabba in the hangar bay, that's got to go now. I thought that was just going to be in that one-off special edition, but then that is now dragging along with every subsequent release of Star Wars.
It's funny though, because I think when they originally sort of released those special editions, and I know you're not a fan of this at all, Dan, are you? In terms of the sort of the added bits. I think, what was it? It was something like, was it something ridiculous? Like, it was only like, was it something like 14 or 20 seconds of added content in the original film? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
You know? But
I mean, at the time with it, how old were you, Wizzy, when you saw the special edition? The first
well, that
one,
would have been
97.
So I would have been around 17, I think, when it came back. I was born 1980, so I was born when Empire Strikes Back.
You're a year older than me then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it. I got sucked into it because I saw all the documentaries and stuff, and I thought, wow. And then also, here was the thing that really hooked me in the cinema when they made that statement: for a whole generation, people have only been able to see Star Wars, the only place possible, on the television set. But now, if you've only seen it that way, you've not seen it at all. And it was in the cinema in a trailer, and then they blew it up, and that was the hook. I thought, well, this is my chance to see it in the cinema. And the additional
already...
scenes didn't bother me, except for the stupid Greedo thing, that stupid weird head movement. I noticed that, and I thought, what was that? But then, you know, it was just all a bit of a novelty CGI. So the Jabba the Hutt thing wasn't that bad, but that's aged terribly. That now, man, it's terrible.
But even the scenes that George Lucas added in, like some of them, they actually mess up the flow of the actual of the movies. Like Empire Strikes Back, I don't think
the dinosaur that walks past. It's unnecessary. You can see the dinosaur limbs. Sorry, I'm talking over you. You know what I mean? It's rubbish.
Empire Strikes Back, I don't think he added that much into that movie and thank God he didn't, because you know that movie was arguably the best out of all Star Wars has ever done, as far as, you know, making an actual movie.
You can't improve on perfection.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree, Mike. But Return of the Jedi, I mean, I thought he made that even worse. And that was, you know, if you talk to all the older guys, like I'm sure Daniel and all you know, your guys, you know, 10 years older than me at the time, Return of the Jedi did not go over completely all well with the Star Wars community of the time. Like that's a common thing. They would always complain about the Ewoks, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, Leia's Luke's sister. Like that wasn't a grand slam like the rest of Star Wars was. I mean, it was interesting, but I think the one thing that hurt George Lucas is that he said that he made this statement that's like totally megalomania. He says this is the version that everyone will remember going forward, was his 1997 special editions. And if you look at it, that's when he got all his way, right? Same with the prequels, and the movies were not as good. They just didn't, you know, it just wasn't.
Some vast improvements though in it, like the approach of the X-Wings was a really good addition to the special editions.
Okay.
It wasn't all bad, and I was invested in the time because they talked in the documentaries I saw before I went to the cinema how they, as he said, George Lucas, we've gone back, we've cleaned up the original negative, because apparently Darth Vader was going a turquoise color or something. They made him black as he should be, and I thought, well, this is great, man. This is just like a fresh Star Wars with a few extra scenes. You know, that was it.
The thing is with it, sorry, I was just going to say the comment Nick Reddock made just a few minutes ago. You know, absolutely right. I mean, it's not nitpicking at all. Dan, I know you're not the biggest fan of the advent
of the internet, isn't it, Nick Reddock? That's the problem. Probably.
No, you said about like nitpicking,
well, isn't it? Probably
about
the late 90s, and that's when people will start getting a bit more vocal.
No, sorry,
worldwide.
Nick, the comment I was making, the other one that Nick Reddock made, was talking about the hindsight in 2020.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And Daniel, I know you're not the biggest fan of the sort of I wouldn't say upgrades or whatever, but the additional bits they put in. I've never really had a massive. Listen, it's the Star Wars content, and I've got to say, for me personally, I mean, I actually quite enjoyed the bits that were added in. I've never, it's never detracted anything from the films. I know people will always hark back and say, yeah, but it wasn't as it was originally. But for me, personal opinion, they've never done anything that, I thought hasn't detracted from the film. That was all. You know what I mean? So
it's, you know what, Mike? It's not fresh in my mind right now because I haven't watched the 1997 special editions since 1997. But I would say that there was a few scenes in there that I think there's one where Vader gets back into, it shows him leaving the Imperial shuttle, where you're adding scenes that do nothing for the flow of the film.
Yeah,
there was one scene like that.
Was in Empire,
if I remember correctly? Just to give an example, it's I'm nitpicking, but it's but there was one there. But I saw one poster here. Bjorn says he likes the Wampa scene is really better.
Bjorn, I don't agree with that. Sadly, it's nice to see what the Wampa looks like, but to be honest, it was scarier when you couldn't see him. in your imagination
Exactly.
what's going on.
Yeah, I agree, Nick.
But then you can
I thought it
also
was
sorry.
less is more.
Less is more.
Sorry.
No, and that's fair
And
play.
the only time you saw that beast was when he was lunging at you, and all you could do was hear him, and it sounded like he was slaughtering a tauntaun in the background. In fact, I swear to God, if you hear the growl of the wampa, you can hear the kind of this. And I thought he was eating him alive, man. I thought that's what I was hearing.
Again, Nick, the point I would only make there is, you were looking at it when you first watched it as a completely different age group. When you first saw that film, you were much younger, So it's like you go back to, well, I remember going to the cinema in 1999, I think it was, to watch The Phantom Menace. And I was so disappointed when I came out of the cinema. I really was just like, this has completely killed the franchise. And I know, like, Nick laughs at me about this when we've had conversations in the past, and I know Daniel sort of knows this as well, but that film sort of over the 20 years has grown on me. And I was like, Attack of the Clones, I thought there were some good bits in it, for example, but I was always like, I'm not sure about these clones. And now I will buy any clone going. Do you know what I mean? So it's as you sort of get older and mellow a little bit or whatever. I know you're shaking your head, Dan, but I'm just saying, I wasn't keen on any of those films originally.
Yeah.
Clones.
Yeah, but sorry, Mike. Just going back to Bjorn's comment, I'll meet him halfway because I still enjoyed seeing that additional scene. Yeah, I thought that's what the special editions were. They were just a special edition where you got like bonus, but now they've become the definitive, and it was fascinating to see that creature in his natural habitat, in a close up for the first time ever. But my point was, it was just when you couldn't see it, it was more sinister. Which, like, that's what Ridley Scott. I mean, if Ridley Scott didn't agree with that, he would have shown you more of the alien, wouldn't he?
But would he have done if he was filming it today, Nick?
Well, you know what?
That's a very good point, Mike. Actually,
That's a good point. Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
Because he didn't show a lot of it because he didn't want it to look like a man in a suit. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So if he had access to the technology,
it's very different. The technology is very different. So,
but then there's the Hitchcock element as well, and he deliberately, didn't show you everything. And I don't know. It's just a happy medium. It's the perfect storm of movies around then.
Yeah, but Ridley Scott's movies since then have not been nearly as successful. His last few Alien movies, I don't think, have done nearly as well, from my understanding, unless I'm wrong on that. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, Prometheus and all that. It's quite, I quite like Prometheus, but I think I don't know, really. I'd like him to wrap it up, though.
You know what it is, Nick? I think it's more of the vision, and back to what Mike was saying there, even with the Phantom Menace. I thought the Phantom Menace, in a lot of ways, it was brilliant. It just wasn't a movie that any of us Star Wars fans, the vision was wrong. I didn't want to see a movie that was more geared to kids at the time. It just came off very soft to me.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, though, Darth Wizzy, is when we saw the Star Wars films originally, we were kids.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But when you go and you watch Star Wars, which was called Star Wars, it wasn't A New Hope, or you watch Empire Strikes Back, one of the first scenes of Star Wars is Obi-Wan. I say this all the time. Obi-Wan's cutting a guy's arm off, and there's blood on the floor. That's not exactly okay. Fine, you can still say. I thought it was more for all age. It was more violent in that sense. I mean, you had the Death Star blow up an entire planet. You had, whereas you came into Phantom Menace, it just seems so much more geared for children. Obviously with Anakin and that whole, I just thought that whole idea of it was
that just goes to the point though, Wizzy, that kids don't mind being scared. They like it. In fact, people are too scared to scare kids now, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They think, oh, we mustn't show that, whatever. And then that's why.
But again,
Nick,
that's the point. It was like, actually, if you remember, I mean, look, I can't remember watching I do remember going to see the Star Wars in the cinema, but obviously I was very young. The point being is you actually don't ever see the guy get his arm cut off, Walrus Man, or was it Walrus Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
You see the lightsaber being drawn, and then you see the arm on the floor with a bit of blood.
Have you seen
never
that thing on
actually see
YouTube? The layer capture edited or fixed, it's called. Instead of that chase through the woods in Obi-Wan Kenobi, it goes on forever and they're trying to get her. Now they've just done this video where they just get her. They've just cut it down to like a 10-second video now.
Again, if you were putting this out, for example, like I think if I remember correctly, the original Star Wars had a rating of U, which was universal viewing, wasn't it? It wasn't a PG rating, so children of any age you could have taken into the cinema, I believe, if my memory serves me correct, and even from the videos.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like in the 80s, everything started sort of changing and tightening up. You had music. They had like the craziness of the 80s. They thought, everyone was listening to Satan music and stuff like that. And then you had all the rating systems getting tightened up. I remember that growing up. So, I mean, like...
Well, wasn't it the Temple of Doom? That was the Indiana Jones. I'm sure that was the first time they found that classification because it had dark scenes in it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I could have sworn I heard Steven Spielberg talking about that. They found the PG-13 rating or something like that via that film. They couldn't quite classify it as they couldn't give it a U because they had some demonic kind of things in it. And
but you know what it is?
It's up to you what you allow people to view. I mean, I always remember. I mean, one of the funniest things, and I know this is completely left field and completely what we shouldn't be talking about on this channel. I don't know if any of you guys remember the original Muppet movie. Okay.
Are you in it, Mike?
Yeah. Listen, hang on. No, sorry, but there is method to my madness here, guys. That was banned for years and years and years because
that's right, Carrie.
There was a piece in there talking about eating frogs' legs, and so it got an X-rated ban. The original Muppet movie, which is just absolutely ludicrous, which is a bloody children's movie. Sorry, I'm digressing there. Sorry.
I don't know where he's got. Mike, have you got anything you want to say, Daniel? Because for every 50 words he says, you say 3.
No, I'm just listening.
I'm going to shut up now, Daniel. Daniel, talk. Sorry.
No, I'm just listening. I'm good.
That's a bit like that scene on Goodfellas. When she goes, you don't talk much, Henry. You don't talk much. He goes, I'm just listening.
You're pretty much saying everything I would say anyway. So,
yeah. Well, we're on 2 hours and 22 minutes here, fellas. Should we wrap it up at 2.5?
Yeah.
We've got eight more minutes to go around the horn and say our goodbyes and blah de blah. Yeah, it's been good. Thanks for joining us, Wizzy, man. It's good.
Cool.
Well, I'm a little inebriated Saturday, so every time I get caught on with you, Brett's, I'm always a couple pints in. So
I was going to say, what time is it over there, Darth Wizzy?
Oh, it's 6:20 past 6 now.
All right, so you're on your 3rd pint already.
Yeah, I need to go to the fridge in a minute to get another beer, but we'll have a chat afterwards, fellas. I was going to say, I'd like to get you on
an empty glass.
What's happening to you, Daniel? You half disappeared there with your your background.
Daniel's head's been going up and down.
Look at that.
Oh,
he's a magician. Watch this glass disappear.
Magic.
Yeah. Magic. Yeah, so Darth Wizzy Wizard, I want to get you on with the BOE. That would be really good. We can really chew the fat on topics like the name of Boba Fett's ship and other such items. Get the BOE's take on that and yourself. But anyway, anything, yeah.
The Gen X, the Generation X cringe lord, I don't know.
Generation offended.
Yeah, generation offended.
Yeah. It's crazy. Shame, really.
Ridiculous.
A lot of things have changed, like the Pirates of the Caribbean classic. I'm not talking about the film here. I'm talking about the ride. That's obviously seen multiple changes over the years. But, I just still think that the argument, the side I take on that is just, covering over history in a way. There's some elements of that ride that were historical. The bride auction is now gone. And I think it's very sad. And there was an element of humor in that, man, because they had the pirate there. What would it be for this Winston wench, stout-hearted? And they're all on the other side of the river chanting, "We want the Redded!" And he's going, "Shift
Well,
your
you know what?
cargo, dearie. Show me your larboard
what?
side," because she's quite a big girl. They're auctioning off, and then they're all chanting for the Redhead, and that's now gone now. But I won't say anymore. Yeah, look into it. But it's changes that have been made. And
Nick, if you read into history, there's been thousands of years of slavery and wrongs done, yet it just seems so bizarre what they're pushing, predominantly, I guess, in the US right now. I mean, it's nonsensical in my humble opinion, but whatever. It is what it is. And for them to take that and use that in these bizarre sort of...
Well, we got another guest.
I don't know.
Add him to stream.
Yeah.
Hi, Shabby. Yeah.
So,
Shabby.
hi boys, how are you?
Oi.
Right, so if you hear thunder, I was watching your stream, so we gone out and I thought, oh, nice one. Ruler's on, Mick's on, Dan's on, some lad called Holy One's on. I thought, I'll watch that. and then everything went off. My power went off. Everything. So we have really bad storms in North Carolina, and where we are, it's rural. So sometimes it'll go out for 10 minutes. Sometimes it'll go out for 2 days. You know what I mean? So I thought, oh shit, I was enjoying this. So it just came on about 2 minutes.
Can I ask you to watch your language? I mean, you are a guest. I've had 2 shits from Darth Wizzy. I've had F-bombs from the get-go with Mike. And you've been on for 5 minutes. 5 seconds.
Did Matt ask you about Friday?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, not yet. No, I spoke to Matt earlier about a few things, but we didn't talk about that. Why? What's going on?
He said you were busy or something. I think he wanted to get you, BOE, Dan, Mick. I think he's talked to Mick. Is he there, Mick? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, Mick, you got to answer, son,
No, sorry, there's a delay here, Shabby. I don't know what is going on.
I don't know what's
delaying all day.
Yeah. You were listing off names then. Dan, you said.
Yeah.
Keep
Charlie,
going.
you,
Mick,
and BOE, and we wanted to get a few of you on and talk about this vintage collection stuff and all that. So, we'll see.
Well, that's awesome. I'm up for that. I mean, it's not long since I was on yours, but I didn't expect to be invited back so soon. I love that, man. Yeah, great.
Hang on, I don't believe it. Darth Wizzy Wizard, is that him right there?
That's him.
Bloody hell! You can tell I need my glasses. It's dead tiny because I'm on my phone. I didn't have time. I waited to come on and tell you sorry, mate. So I didn't have time to open my laptop, so I'm on my phone. Bloody hell, there he is. Look at
you
that.
You fellas look tiny because you're on bloody portrait there. Can you not change to landscape, fellas?
Hang on, let's have a look. How do we do that?
Yeah, look at the orientation, the ratio, whatever's wrong there, man. Pivot.
for you.
Pivot. Yeah,
It's probably because
up for that.
It's probably because they're a long way away, Nick. They look smaller.
Yeah, that's what it is, Daniel. You've hit the nail on the
It's like Napoleon. Was he a very short?
Hey!
It's like Napoleon. Was he a very short man, or was he just a long way away?
That's got a point. I don't know how to bloody change it. How do we change it here? Hang on.
Well done, Wizzy. There you go. Pivot.
That's better.
How come I can't do mine?
You take a sideways look at life, son.
Oh, got it.
Like that. There you
Wow.
go.
Hey!
Well done.
So, do you want me to show you what came today?
Yeah.
This is dead weird, because that George Lucas 40th anniversary, I was expecting that months ago and it just came, but this came this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got
Very
to
nice.
Wait for mine.
I'll tell you what, it's a
Sorry, mate. Hang on. Full screen. Hang on.
It's a cracking. It's a
Show us
cracking.
again. Yeah.
Very different head sculpt. Really, really vastly improved.
And I tell you another thing, Mick, because I haven't bought a vintage collection for ages, but ever since I was watching the lads' videos on no bubbles on the no plastic on the boxes anymore, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to start buying some more of these because I've always liked them anyway. I've got quite a few vintage collections, but they fit. I don't know whether it's because I've been collecting Black series, they feel a lot smaller. Do you feel that these are actually smaller when they first, or what they roughly? Because this shape is.
It's because you've been handling that 6-inch stuff, man. That's what it'll be.
I
don't
want to brag.
You speak for yourself. You speak for yourself.
You've heard of Fly Guy, right? Haven't you, Shabby? Flyguy.net?
Yeah, of course. He's actually a British guy who lives in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the guy. He obviously was always 3 3/4 inch. Then he got massively into 6-inch, and then when 3 3/4 inch came back, I just remember him saying on all his videos, "This is so tiny. It's so tiny," because he'd obviously been used to the other scale for such a long time. And
well, I'm getting used to it then, because when I got it today, I was like, "Wow, is it smaller than the last shave easily?" But I thought, no, it can't be, can it? It must be the same bloody size. So
that's why I love the scale. You get the vehicles in it, Shab, and the quality is there. Like the figure I opened today, that Stormtrooper Commander, is just a beautiful figure, man. It's just faultless.
Yeah.
Looks like a Stormtrooper.
So, tell me what you were talking about then. What's your favorite thing from San Diego Comic Con?
You're just reigniting the chat. We can get to 3 hours with you, Shabby. The best thing was I thought the retro collection, to be honest, Shab. I loved all that, man.
Yeah. And they introduced the new that 3PO. That 3PO comeback. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not
finishing that 12, man. That's brilliant. I love it.
The thing is with that, I know. Sorry, I was trying to mention that earlier, though, guys. You know when they showed that 3PO, I know this sounds really, really daft. In the Power of the Force line, I'm sure they did a 3PO and R2D2, and that 3PO was a really, really sort of very similar. I wouldn't say
was because
it was really, 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 really chromed and bright or whatever else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was,
and it went, but it was
Biker Scout.
It was available for nothing. That this sort of, I'm sure this 3PO on its own was like you could pick it up a few years ago for about £2, and it was a similar. I'm not saying vac metalized, but it was similar colouring. Do you know what I mean? So, be interesting to see the differences. I haven't got it now, but
hang on a minute. Are we live? I thought this was behind the scenes.
No, you're live.
That's why I'm swearing away, because I thought you. Oh, why didn't one of these tell me? I just noticed Biker Scout came up and I looked up and I thought, hang on a minute, we're bloody live here.
That's why we're wondering why you didn't put your makeup on.
I look like this, do you know what I mean? I haven't got my corset on. What's going on? Right, well, to everyone who's watching, I apologise. I didn't know we were live. I thought, I'll just come on. You're ready to chat me and the team. I'll just come on and have a chat to lunch. You know?
Still live.
Everyone's gonna go off with all that Chubby Geek is full of it, isn't he? He swears like a trooper off it.
Hang on, if I missed it, did he not realise we were live?
Mate, no. Right? Because my power had gone, and I saw that you'd left a couple of messages, and then I saw this StreamYard. I thought, they're having a chat behind the scenes. That's why I came in and said, lads, we're doing one next week. I didn't know. I had no idea we were live. No. So
that's
hilarious. And that's why I changed my camera and stuff like that. Brilliant. So anyway, 21.
I thought you knew, Shabby. I thought you knew we were live because you didn't have a stogie. That you should see this guy after hours, big fat cigar, man. I love that.
I know.
Awesome,
really. Anyway,
not to worry. It was all good. I've just gone to get myself another beer, but we'll be wrapping up shortly anyway. Shabby Unplugged. Yeah, that's what Mother's just said. There you go.
I know. Unbelievable. I won't do that again. Bloody hell, I'll make sure next time. But it's nice to see Wizzy. Look at him. There he is. It's lovely to see him.
You can see him close up now.
Shabby. So
yeah,
you just started collecting the TBC again? You getting into the 3 3/4, or are you going to stick with the Black Series?
Right. Well, I remember when it first came out. I'll tell you the story. I went to B&M's in England, and I saw the Sandtrooper. And it was besides the Saga and Trilogy collection, those vintage cards. Do you remember when they came out? They're right there. These ones. Do you remember those ones? Sorry. So I got all them, and I loved
the OTC.
and then I left it for a while, and then I saw that stand sheet, and I thought, oh, these are beautiful. These are really nice. So I bought them all, but I opened them all because I didn't realise at that time, they'll be worth anything. And I don't really collect thinking they'll be worth something. So I got up to like Ahsoka, I got to Darth Malgus, the Republic Trooper. I was buying them all. And then Black Series came. And I was the same as everybody else at first. I thought, oh, this ain't going to work. Black 6-inch Star Wars. Star Wars has never been 6-inch. So I left it for a while, and then I remember seeing the Han Solo in the orange and black box 6-inch. And so I went there, and so what I started to do with vintage collection then was just pick them up back and forth, if you will. I wasn't, you know what I mean? And then, so I left it for, but now I'm starting to get back, because I think the upgrade of them, I think for the past 18 months, vintage collections just look fantastic, so.
It has.
You seen the HasLab?
Yeah,
There you go, it's there. Look,
There it is.
it's always been there. Whoever it was who said it was not on there, you're having a laugh. I saw it the other week. You made me doubt myself. Look, see? Riser Chris, can you see it all right? Hang on. I don't want to sound all smug there, fellas, but I knew it was on there, but I don't know what. Is it in past projects? It's not in past projects, maybe. Like the barge is gone. I don't know what's going on there. Funding completed. Yeah, there's no barge. Maybe they just switch and change. I really don't know, fellas. Weird.
Nice one.
I've just killed the convo there. Anyway.
See, I'm looking, Nick. I'm looking on my phone at the same page, and it's not on there.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bizarre. You're looking on a laptop.
Can you see the barge there, Daniel?
The barge is here. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The
Oh,
strike
he's
is
gone
here.
out of the room. I've just showed the Razor Crest on HasLab, mate.
Oh, yeah, what I mentioned
the
earlier.
barge
Yeah, it's on there.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, going on a bloody hell. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, the Rancor's there too.
I didn't know. He's got no bloody camera on, has he? I didn't know he'd gone for a bloody
I had to go to the loo.
drain the snake.
On
So,
my phone.
well, on HasLab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not on the phone, no, Nick.
It's
got
not
the
on the
Cobra.
website. It's not on the
It
website.
is, Mike.
It's
I've just shown 70 people. There you go. There's the barge is back. There's the barge.
I'm
There's the Razor
looking
Crest.
at HasLab now. Active projects. They're talking about G.I. Joe.
Are you looking at the screen, Mike?
Hang on.
Can you see my screen that I'm sharing?
Yeah.
There's the Razor Crest on the left. You've got the Rancor on the right. Hero Quest in the middle, and then you've
Is
got
that
the barge.
because I'm on just the UK?
I have no idea, Mike. No idea. This is HasbroPulse.com collections /HasLab. And then there's Reaver at the bottom there, which was a sad, and I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was crazy.
See, I'm on HasbroPulse.com. I go on to HasLab. I'm on a laptop, right?
No idea, mate. It's just
And it does
way
not
it is.
show a Razor Crest at all.
Wow.
That's
Well, it's there.
bizarre.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
right there. There it is, Razor Crest, and then the barge. To be honest, the fellas, before when I was on the barge, wasn't there, was it? I'm pretty sure it wasn't there.
That is so weird.
Listen, bizarrely, I agree with Mike because I'm on my phone now, and Galactus is there, and the Sky Strike is there, the Ghostbusters Proton Pack is there, past projects, the barge is there, the Cybertron
past
is there,
project, it doesn't show, Dan.
yeah, Rancor's there, Reaver's lightsaber's there, but there's no Razor Crest on this phone. Very strange.
And it's not on my
Desktop
laptop.
thing, then, innit? Must be app versus desktop.
Must
Hey,
be.
your picture quality's better now, Shabby. It was a bit pixeled before. Now you sat still.
He's put his
It's this
makeup
wet-
on now.
It's this weather, like I said. So I apologise. It's the weather over here is
Oh,
so
no,
bad.
no,
It's falling down. So
Don't apologize.
It's good.
It's good golf weather in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice place to live, but I tell you, like I say, when it storms, because it's so hot. It's been 101 all day today. It's been, and with the humidity, it's absolutely roasting. So when it throws it down, it throws it down. So.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come over and play some golf over there, Shabby.
Hey, my door's always open, my friend. You've no problem there.
Shabby Con, or was it Shabby Fest? What's it called?
Shabby Con. Yeah, anyone's welcome here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. How far are you from Florida?
About 7 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
So are you closer to Williamsburg? Is it like the Busch Gardens there?
5 hours. Virginia is right above us.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's it. So if you came here, we'd leave at 6 in the morning, get there for 11.
I see. Yeah, I've been to Williamsburg. I think I've told you that before.
Yeah, you have. Well, I used to go there for Christmas when Christmas was, because it's really nice at Christmas, Colonial Williamsburg. So
that was really quite an interesting place to see the colonial history there. That was awesome. That actually, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Shabby, you go to Myrtle Beach at all, or?
Yeah, been there. Outer Banks, we've done quite a few. It's a nice area. So, like I said, when we were in the States before, we were in Virginia, then we went home, then we came back and we came to North Carolina. It's nice down here. Where are you, Doth Wizzy? Whereabouts are you?
Oh, I'm in Canada, man, Ontario, where it's nice and
hot
right
me.
now.
Yeah. All this time, yeah.
Lovely.
Hey, Nick, I'm just loving looking at some of the comments saying down on the same side, like Nick talking about British people are fun, yeah, and lax in Wrexham, yes they are, and then Dogwild Jones just said, yeah, too many pints.
Well, we can't see what you're putting away, Mike, because you don't turn your camera on, so we don't quite know where much. But occasionally, we can hear a little.
I don't think he was talking about.
He don't know what he's talking about.
He's gone off, hasn't he? Mike, you keep cutting out, man.
No, well, I don't know why. I'm not doing anything. I've been having that problem with all of you guys all night. It's been jumping in a little bit in and out on the stream.
Yeah.
No, it's been a good evening, fellas.
It must be the aliens.
And do you know what? Can I just say we managed to keep even now. I think we peaked at 100 and something.
Wow.
Now we're still holding at 60 odd. But thank you, whoever you are, the people who are in the chat here, for sticking with us, because I think now we're just. I'm enjoying this, fellas. We're just hanging out. This is kind of like what we do in the backstage segment, just a little bit of a chat when we're not on air.
Which I thought this was.
Didn't even know we were on air. He already thought we weren't on air a minute ago. We were a bit early. Good job you didn't say anything tasty there, Shabby.
I'm not going to get over this for days. I'm just not going to. I'm still in shock now. Like, what?
I missed that. I went for a beer, so I'll have to watch that back and whatever was said or done there. I could hear someone screaming. It was you, Shabby. I just thought you were talking about something.
Yeah, my kids are playing around. My wife's, in the kitchen. Everyone's doing it because I thought it was just behind the scenes. I thought, I'll just fucking say hello to the boys. It's always nice to see him. Do you know what I mean? And then I didn't realise it. When you said about the language, I thought, right, all right, fair enough. And then I thought, bit weird for him to say that behind the scenes, and then I looked up and then somebody live, and I thought, no way. So anyway,
well, you've got a reason to swear. Mike's got no excuse. He knew we were live, and he was effing and jeffing from the get-go.
I could have said anything.
I apologise.
Brilliant,
great stuff.
So what did you? Oh, go, sorry, Daniel. Sorry. Go on.
Shabby, what did you like most about the reveals and whatnot? Because you're a 6-inch collector, aren't you? Anything you
I did, but, yeah, the TVC Luke Skywalker took my fancy big time. I loved that figure. That was lovely.
You'd like that. You're a big Luke fan, aren't you? Jedi Luke.
Big Luke fan. And I've still got a couple of those carded. Do you remember the one that it's down there where he's constructing his lightsaber? That was always a nice figure. I like that one. But this one looked really nice. The other one I liked was Cal Kestis, but that it's like what Boss said on his video. That I don't remember that uniform in Fallen Order, so it must be in the new game.
It's from the new game, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's in the new game. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Black Series wise, what stands out to me the most? First of all, I'm not happy with the boxes, and I was talking to Usual Mike about it as well. And Well, the thing about it is, I understand, and I'm really happy for the TVC. TVC has to be on that bubble, has to be. I mean, it's common sense. You take that away, you've taken off that brand away, because it's the packaging as well as the figure.
Absolutely.
It's not rocket science, that. But I don't really think it's fair to do it to Black Series collectors too. I mean, granted, it's like, I've always been one of those people to say it's up to you whether you open your figures or not. Everyone collects differently, but every one of us has stuff in our collections, regardless, that's boxed and that's open. But it feels like that now has been taken away from Black Series collectors, and so I wasn't very happy with the boxes. That's and then I saw the new boxes and I thought, and the thing is, the quality of the box is cheap. It don't, it's thin. It's and I thought, wow, they're not going to. No. So, but I did like the Endor layer that's come out. That was a nice figure for the Black Series. Apart from that, I mean, no, not really. But I think TVC took it for me again. The retro collection was good. I'm really happy to carry on with that.
Yeah.
And like we've
discussed before, for that as well. Good job.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Shabby.
I mean, yeah.
Shabby, can I just ask you a question? Does that with the new boxing, for example, that you're getting with theoretically with the Black Series or the 6-inch line?
Yeah.
Does that alter your? Does it alter how you feel about them in terms of buying, or what does it do for you?
It does in a way, and the other thing is, it's also. I mean, I understand inflation, and this is what I can tell people when we do our stream. I understand that prices go up, but Black Series has gone up in this country about 4 or 5 times in the past 18 months. You started off at $16.99, then $19.99, $22.99. I went to buy that the mudded Mandalorian, which is they call it a deluxe pack, but it's one figure with a Baby Yoda. By the time I'd got it from Target and come back out, it was $39 with tax. And I'm like, it was the first time in 20 years I've collected where I thought, wow, I feel robbed here. So I was talking to a couple of the Black Series lads about that, saying about the prices. Yeah, we're not all rich blokes. And the thing about it, you all know it yourself. You've all got wives, you've all got girlfriends. You can't, I used to go out and buy the wave. When they were $20, you'd buy the whole wave. There it was. But now you can't buy 2 figures for the price of the wave. So to answer your question, Mick, when I saw these boxes come, to me, I was just like, you know what? I'll still collect them because I really like them, but I'm no longer going to go out and find them as fast as possible. Do you know what I mean? I'll wait till they go on clearance. I'll wait till I find them in the store. I'll do it that way. And it's funny as well, because I do my Black Series. I don't know whether you can see, like that. Can you see them all?
Yeah.
And then behind me, they're all packaged. So a lot of people turn around and say, well, it shouldn't really be a problem to you. I know. It's like he said, it shouldn't really be a problem to you, Shabby, because the way you display them, you don't see the boxes anyway. But it's nice to be able to pull it out and have a look at the figure,
Yeah.
So, and that's the problem. But the worst thing, I'll tell you, I know I'm going on a bit, so I'll shut up. But the worst thing about it is, over here, you can refund anything. You could have a pair of shoes 8 months that you've worn on a farm, you can take them back. And it's frightening in a way because, like I said, I got that Lego box. And the 3 figures were missing out of it that someone had took back, refunded, took the Dark Troopers out of it, took the box back. But I did the same thing. So not only had that thing been refunded once by somebody else, I'd also refunded it. And whether having no plastic in and just those little, I don't know whether it's going to be that like wooden kind of paper to hold the figures in or a pin to hold the figures in.
Tissue paper, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what I mean. And the thing is, Dan, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble over here. I think there's going to be a lot because you open them from the bottom, you take the figure out, and like I said, I'll be honest to you now. It doesn't matter what people say. Oh no, we've worked on this. It will happen. It will happen. Target and Walmart employees don't care. It will happen. They're not going to sit there checking the figure out.
Yeah, what they should have done is maybe still that they really are so bent on getting rid of the plastic, which is a totally different argument. Is maybe just at least have a small window where you can at least see the head and you can kind of see into the actual packaging. You don't have to get rid of all the plastic.
There was a lot of problem with that with the Transformers where the heads were missing off him, where people were just pulling the heads off him.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for change. I understand this is the 4th Black Series box we've got since it started, so I understand that. But it's the first time I've ever collected where I can't see the figure I'm buying. And also paint apps too. You know, you want to make sure your figure looks good, that it's not dodgy looking at the paints on it. You know, and that's all going to get taken away. So it feels, like I said, that now we're going to have to start opening and displaying them, which, you know, fair enough. We'll see what we can do. But it's like you boys. You know, if your bubble was taken away from vintage, you would have to say to yourself then, and I've seen your rooms, I've seen them, they're all closed up, but you'd have to start opening them. Would you do that? It's not nice to put a collector in that position where you've got no choice but to open them. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, though, Shabby, because like, you know, even with the 3.75 with the deluxe packs or whatever that they're doing, and the
happened again.
No, we lost Mike.
Stormtroopers or whatever. There has been issues, hasn't there, where people have said, actually, you know, I know, like Tim, obviously, Boss Bounty, you know, he said a couple of the Stormtroopers that he managed to get in that pack were the paint apps weren't great, you know, so you're almost inclined to open it to check it, like you said, you know, and yeah, sorry, Darth Wizzy, exactly what you just showed there. If you don't have a look at what's in there, you just haven't got a clue. You know what I mean? It really could be, they could be really, really badly painted. That's the point. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the thing, and I understand what this is.
Yeah, I have no idea what's in here. I think about
it's not a big deal, but I don't know. It can be because I like stuff to be, you know. It's like I said, I've got Motor Origins that's all open. So it's not that I keep everything in boxes. I don't. I just choose to keep Black Series closed up. I like the look of it in the box. You know, we all make our toy rooms look a little bit like a toy store. You know, we want that look of when we were kids. You'd walk into the store, and that's what I do in my Black Series. But you're all right. I mean, when I thought they introduced those TVC boxes just as a hint to say what's coming. And let's have a look at things and see what you think. But when you've got your big hitters turning around and saying, if the and you obviously they've read Twitter, they've read Instagram, and seen every TVC guy turn around and say, you cannot change this, you know, and even people like myself who pick them up now and then know themselves you can't change it. So I think that's
what their revenue massively, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would. But you also got to look at it from the flip side from their point of view. From a marketing perspective, Hasbro will look at it from the point of view of going, right, if we put out these deluxe packs, and I'm purely talking 3.75 inch here, by the way, guys, they'll say, let's, you know, and they're adding little bits and pieces or whatever. Now, you can argue, you know, you can argue, does it justify the price points? Maybe not. But they'll also look at, like, actually, if we do put out some of these deluxe packs where we're just adding a few extras, you know, what's the viability from a sales point of view? So they will do now is they will continue with that line, like we've talked about in terms of, yes, it's great, they're giving us the bubble, but I still think they will still give us these deluxe packs moving forward as well, because I just think it's just from them, from a marketing point of view and a sales point of view, they will have seen probably the successes and the little bits of extras that you can get and go, we can continue doing certain lines down that route and we'll continue giving you the card back. That's all.
I think they will, because, I mean, how much more, like I said, I didn't buy one of those deluxe TVC boxes. How much more was it than a standard release?
About a tenner.
Right. So you ain't going to quit that.
Roughly.
You see what I mean? It's the same way as the Black Series do. You look at the Wrecker, who's not really a deluxe figure, but classed as one. And do you see what I mean? And your 4-pack army builders that Wizzy's got right there. If they're going to make more money and people are buying them, they're going to carry on doing it. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
All it's talks about environment.
I've never had a problem with them doing the box packs for the army builders. No problem whatsoever. I quite like that. Hey, Matt's on.
Hello, Matt.
I sent Matt a link, and then I've also sent a link to usual. Mike, you might have lost your slot now. Matt was in on it. Sorry.
Well,
Matt, we're live, by the way, Matt. We're live, by the way.
Yes,
just
I know.
He knows that. It's you who doesn't know if we're live or not.
He's there going,
we're going to ask all these people onto this live stream, and they're like, yeah, you're live, Shabby. Yeah.
I know. Could have come on and said anything. Could have come on and said anything.
Yeah. Could have
Hey,
called somewhere
Shabby, at
right,
least-
so and so, can you?
Shabby, at least you were wearing clothes when you came on.
I tell you what, it's the first time I've ever done this with clothes on. Have you?
I know. I'd put my shirt on.
Scene in the
I'll
last
sit here
Jedi,
roasted
put a
before
towel
I
on or
get
something.
But seriously, going back to the chat, guys, you know, like the 4 packs of the boxes for the army builders, I love all of that. I've no problem with that. Like, you know, if they give us like the Dark Troopers, which is, you know, I know they obviously want to get the figures out, they want to sell them and fine, and the packs that they're doing. But down the line, give us more of those. No problem. Army building for those sort of 4 packs, no problem whatsoever.
Well, that's what they're made for, aren't they? I mean, they heard what the fans had said about your army building, so they gave you 4 packs, which that makes perfect sense. The issue that I have is the fact that now I've got no choice. I can either keep it. Look around everybody's toy collection. Every one of us, regardless if it's Star Wars, Motu, anything, we all grew up with you seeing the figures. That's why we're all into this at our ages, you know, so you can see what you've got, you can see how it looks, blah, blah, blah. Coming out with just a box with a photograph on the front of it, it's like, I can't display that. Do you know what I mean? Which is weird because obviously we're Playmobil, Lego, vehicles. Everyone's going to turn around and say, yeah, but Shabby, they always came in boxes. Yeah, but we opened them. Do you know what I mean? And when we, you know, now I don't know, it's hard. It's I'm probably plattering on, but what do you think, Matt? Have you seen these new boxes? Because you were on with you Friday, so.
Yeah, well, I did a video today. I sort of already talked about it and done pictures of it already and stuff.
Ooh.
So
top video, by the way, Matt. Top video. I was watching it earlier.
thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Yeah. It's not for me, the windowless boxes. So I've decided I might pick the odd one up. I mean, the Luke Jedi. Going to grab that one, of course. But otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm HK 87. I like that one as well. That's a cool one. But yeah, I'm going to concentrate more on the vintage collection. I think go a bit more into that. So
it's funny, but so Matt, on that, because obviously on that side, you were obviously a big 6-inch collector as well, weren't you?
Yeah. I've started from the beginning, like Shabby
That's
did.
been your focus generally, isn't it? Yeah. So has it really made you change your? Obviously, by the sound of things, it has. But I mean, has it made you think about? That's not what I want to do. Because at the end of the day, you know, for you've spent. It's not about the money. It's your hobby, whatever. But you've invested a lot of time, a lot of, everything into this, and you're then gonna. I don't mean switch because that's a silly thing to say.
I know.
You've always collected the 3.75 and you do a lot of your videos. But does it completely change your focus, really, in terms of where you think you'll go?
It's weird because you've collected all this Black Series figures and you've got all of them, and now you're going to have to sort of change your collecting. And you look at your collection and you're like, I'm going to have. If you carry on collecting, you're going to have all these windowless boxes. It's just not going to go with your collection, is it? Because I'm different. I face all my boxes outwards so I can see the figure. But what I do is I rotate my boxes every so often and I change them around so I get a different figure every so long. That's what, and they're all high up on above my ring. So that's going to just mess with your collection. My idea of looking at the figure. So that's really up. So I'm going to have to cut down, not do it anymore, and just carry on with the vintage collection because I can still see the figure and it's the card the thing is with that though, Matt, is obviously again, like, and I know Shabby's a massive 6-inch collector. That's the point. How many of you two guys are massive collectors of that line, right? And how many else of you are feeling of that? And I know I'm being I'm not trying to be melodramatic in saying how many. I know I'm not trying to. You don't ask for the community, but the point being is, you guys are big collectors of this, right? Surely
again, there must be a bit of an uproar in terms of from a Black Series collector.
Well,
we come on these streams and we mainly talk about 3.75 da.
Yeah.
But are there streams where there are just Black Series stuff discussed where this stuff can be picked up by Hasbro and that's all argumented about? Is that
there's a quite a big group on Facebook in the UK. Yeah.
And the baseball lads, they have a massive following. They're up to nearly 10,000 and they talk it all through. I mean, I think you get so passionate, so mad about it, especially like you said, Mick, being a big Black Series collector is the fact that it's like having a fit bird, having a fit girlfriend. You argue with her, you don't get on with her, but you're not going to leave her. Do you know what I mean? Because and that's the thing. It's like, and I think that's what winds me up the most is the fact that you sit there ranting, but then you go out and buy it anyway. And I think that's what they're holding on to, Hasbro. I think they're saying, well, most of these lads have been collecting it since 2013. They're not going to stop now. And it's like, wow, man.
I've seen a large group of people in the UK Black Series group on Facebook. Every day, people are selling their whole collections now. They're just doing it.
But that's the thing, Matt. You see, if you were, and again, I know I'm being a little bit objective.
I just sold Shabby a couple of figures the other day, so he got an Echo quite for a good price. So,
but the thing is, obviously, when you have these like pipeline reveals, for example, like that they've done SDCC, whatever. Ordinarily, it's always Black Series in terms of numbers over what you get in TVC. Yeah, so you would assume obviously the Black Series is selling a quantity 2 to 3 times the amount of TVC, theoretically speaking. Yeah. And if guys like you are saying, actually, this is now an argument down the line that what they're doing again is this fundamentally wrong for the 6-inch line.
Problem is they're not sticking at a set price, are they? Every time they release a figure, is at a different price. And I can't deal with that anymore. Either say it's going to stay at this price for a year, or stick it at a certain price and stay there. Say what deluxe is 30 quid, and the standard figure is 23 quid. Not go 33 quid for that new Purge Trooper, which just wound me right up. So I'm like, nope, I'm not buying that. So not for 33 quid.
It's the way they come out as well. It's the way they come out. It's like I said before. I bought the Empire Strikes Back on the 40th anniversary card, Boba Fett, and that was like at the time we shipping it all at about $22. My George Lucas came. I was up to nearly $34 on it, and I'm like, hang on a minute, this is only a space
buy a George Lucas figure. Sorry.
And this is the thing. But what I'm trying to say, Matt, is the difference. Well, you're exactly right. It's the prices, and you're like, there used to be a time. You'd be able to go to a store and you'd buy 1 or 2 or 3 figures, and then you'd look at the wave of 4 or wave of 6 that came out and knew what you had left. Now it's like I thought that Endor Leia wasn't meant to be coming to the end of the year. Now people have got it already, so you're like, all right, well here we go again. It's all over the place. The distribute, but this isn't new. Distribution for these Black Series has been an absolute nightmare for years. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, this collection is staying about 14, 15 quid. Star Action figures are selling them for about 14, 15 quid, aren't they? Except for some of the boxed ones. But I'm happy that I don't mind paying that. But if it starts going 20 quid for it probably will be one day. But then am I going to stop collecting the vintage collection as well? But until they keep the bubbles on, I'll keep on going. So.
Darth Wizzy, do you collect any of the 6-inch line, by the way? Or not?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do, but the ones that I like are and I have pretty much all of them, are the 40th anniversaries. That's what got me into the Black Series.
Yeah.
So it is a great line, but TVC should be number 1, but I think the problem with the Black Series is obviously now we're coming into nothing.
Sorry about that.
You need to turn your mic off, Mike, to be more subtle about your next can. Sorry,
But
Dizzy,
in-
you were talking. I'm sorry.
No, I like the Black Series, but I just think that the reason why Hasbro went to it was because they want to make more money off it, Hasbro and Disney. And when you
Yeah.
make a 6-inch figure, it's more of a profit margin.
Yeah.
And I love the Black Series. I just think that it shouldn't be such a massive focus where really Star Wars should be primarily the 3 3/4. But that wouldn't affect Black Series collectors. They should still be producing them.
Look at all the all the presentations that we've had from Hasbro and so forth. So you give you a list of figures, then they'll go, this one Walgreens exclusive, this one Target exclusive, this one Walmart exclusive, this one Big Bad Toy, and you're like, what the France, man? I've got to go to all these different stores to get one wave. Do you know what I mean? And then you drive to these stores, and it's so. In other words, what they're trying to say to you is, if you don't pre-order them, this is what's going to happen. Do you see what I mean? And it's like, wow, it's very clever. I mean, I've got to give them credit for what they're doing, but it's a nightmare. They used to, like I said, maybe we're old-fashioned, but I used to love just walking into a store and picking up the ones I want and going home with them. You know what I mean?
Changing the subs. Does that happen?
Changing the subs.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry. Shabby, are you able to actually genuinely go into stores and pick figures up?
Can you get a mic?
Right, no.
He's taking over the show, ain't he?
He's going to be on next Friday.
don't listen to it. It's a nightmare. And I think if you've got Americans and that are watching, they'll tell you the same way. I have. This is no word of a lie, right? I have yet to see more than 2 different Black Series in a store in a Walmart and Target in years. So
you know what?
Brilliant.
In my Walmart, or one of the Walmarts it's like a half an hour drive from me, they had Rampart. What's his name? That guy from
no one wants Rampart today.
Apparently I heard in the US, like a lot of people couldn't find Rampart.
Papa Gord got me mine from Canada. Papa Gord said, I've got one for you, Shabby, and sent it to me. So we couldn't find it. I never saw it in the stores ever.
It's bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre. Like just the stores that I go to, in the Greater Toronto area when I have time, it's amazing because we still have Toys R Us here. But you stop off at one, they've got 2 or 3 Antoc Merrick X-Wings. You go to this one, they've got nothing. All these old Black Series from 5 years ago. It's all over the place. Like it's crazy.
When you go into, I remember going to Walgreens for that 501st Clone Trooper, which is really nice, the one with the blue accents on it. And I found it, but I found it behind Kylo Ren. and you're like, this is like a 6-year-old figure. See, it's funny, lads. Walgreens is not a toy store. You're lucky if you get a couple of aisles with toys on it, and it's usually like a die cast and stuff like that. But they get Black Series exclusives. It's like if you could choose a store in America not to have one, you take Walgreens. It's where you go and get your cotton buds and your medicines. Do you know what I mean? It's not a place you go for toys. Yeah, they've had ever since the Ghost Obi-Wan's been a Walgreens. The Clone Commander Kenobi was a Walgreens exclusive over here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, terrible.
Shabby, that Black Series Bad Batch Rampart figure is £9.95 in Star Action Figures.
You can't get rid of them. Can't get rid of them.
Can't smell them.
Wow.
No
wow.
Wants it.
And the thing is, this is another thing. This is another thing that was really funny about it. Well, you watch these stores on Black Series and they tell you that it's 2 or 1 per case per store. But why is it every Walmart's got about 15 Landos in it?
Where they get all the Landos from?
Mate, the thing, I went to Walmart today in Cameron, North Carolina, and they had about 8 TBC Endor layers. Can't shift them over here. Cannot shift the Endor layer. It is everywhere. And today, so they had 8 in a row. They had Quill, and then they had 8 Endor layers. It's like
mad.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. I was just going to say about we've had the Hasbro Pulse thing today. And why did no one, when they do this questionnaire thing at the end of their presentation, why we'd never get anyone stand up and say, "Excuse me, mate, why did you make that stupid lightsaber? Who said to make it?" You don't get any questions that.
They're all preempt questions, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not allowed.
questions,
They're not
isn't
allowed.
it?
They're all hand-picked questions. They pick all the questions
Yeah,
out
they
at the
pick
beginning.
the people out, don't they?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what annoys
like
me.
it's like question time
Matt,
over here when you watch the politicians.
It should be
no
like
one in the
question time.
audience asks the proper questions. If I was
Yeah.
in that audience, I'd be locked out after about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
like-
they're all
Did you know what
hand-picked.
They don't want anybody to rock the boat, and a lot of YouTubers maybe they just want to get some free merch. I don't know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
kissing
Well,
the Disney's behind.
Imperial Communique put a video out talking to Patrick and the lead designer.
Yeah,
Did you
I
see that?
watched that.
Yeah,
Right,
I watched
A
that.
little bit. It was
Right.
still a little
But
bit.
did you not see
we
the
can't
end of
say
it, though?
nothing. We can't say nothing.
Exactly. And you saw that hand come in, that woman turn around and say, "You've got one more question." So she's obviously stood right next to him, listening to everything he's saying to him.
Yeah.
So Dan's exactly right. They're not going to put up with that, are they? Stupid.
Yeah.
Cut him
I
off.
can't believe they're all wearing masks over there in
I
the
know,
convention.
yeah.
I was
It
like,
was almost
wow.
like it was an old video from like a year ago or something.
I know, we don't. Yeah.
And it was all muffled as well. You couldn't hear him. He was like,
Couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Exactly
Weird.
right. Yeah. Well, it was good. Yeah, it was good with Anthony though. He got Bosk's question in, didn't he? And he was talking away.
Yeah.
I thought, good on him. Well done.
That was great. Yeah.
He didn't press much on the start Boba Fett Starship thing. Well, but I was going to say, what
He
were your
mentioned
thoughts
it,
on
but
that one,
they
Shabby?
weren't having it, were they?
Yeah, I know. But he knew not to. I mean, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? Really. I mean, you could have really grilled him a bit more about
Is
that.
it
press
235 quid or something?
Just say it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
why is that happening? What are your thoughts on that, Shabby? I didn't get to see your stream last night, fellas. I saw the beginning, and then I had to edit.
That's
the
right.
thing, so-
You're busy.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on that? Because it was just the
On what?
Well, the bloody Slave One thing, ridiculous. It's not like now it's official or whatever. Now it was previously just a rumor, and it wasn't said. But
It's Slave One. Do you know what I mean? They can say as
Always
much
going
as
to
they
say
want.
Slave One.
Always Slave. I would have said
Always
it to
gonna
him
say
there. I'm a 46-year-old bloke. I'm not going to start calling it something else now. After it's been Slave One since I've been 8 years old. Do you know what I mean? It's daft. It's absolutely daft. It's the name of the ship,
nonsense,
and
innit?
everyone who's watching is going to agree. There's not one person watching this. No, I think you're wrong, Chap. It's now the fires. Come on, it's Slave One.
Not
isn't
even
it?
that, that's the thing. They haven't even said that on the box. It's just Boba Fett
Yeah.
Starship. I just think
I can't believe the price of that.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the price just looked earlier on. Is it 235?
Wow. Wow.
yeah, that's really
235
expensive. man.
over here.
Amazon did them for 90 quid. I got one for 90 quid when Amazon were doing the special deal. And that was a great price. So,
You know what, Matt? When people say, "Oh, I'm going to wait until it's on clearance," with certain items, I don't do that. I don't gamble. I think, well, I'm getting it now. But with that, I couldn't give a what, man.
No, it came up for 150, the original, didn't it? And then I was like, and my wife's like, "I'll get it for you." And then suddenly they just dropped it to 90, and everyone went and bought them. So
hopefully that figure will be on its own card back. One hopes the Nomad,
figure will
or whatever.
definitely be on its own
Nomad
card.
eventually. Yeah.
Well,
The only thing, what I was disappointed about was the Black Series Boba Fett. I was very disappointed because I thought this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it's a 10-year-old mold. That's the first original
the Jedi one. Yeah.
It's not even that. It's the Empire one, isn't it? And so it's the same one that you got in 2013 San Diego Comic-Con. It's now black,
but they're saying,
and you're charging
they're saying
36
black one. Yeah.
They're saying it's different tones of black, but it don't look like that to me. It looks matte black. The whole thing looks one black color. It doesn't look glossy.
The thing is, though, Matt, if you look at the first Boba Fett that came out, it came with the carbonite, came with all them accessories, came in that really nice black box that was long. Then you got the Obi-Wan figure came, and you had layer on it on the table that lit up and took. Now you're getting one of these comic book boxes as an exclusive with a figure that's 10 years old. I was like, wow, man. That was very disappointing.
Those Halloween ones just terrible. Those Halloween ones.
The Boba Fett mold, is that right? They've used that 8 times.
Yeah.
8 different figures.
8 times.
Yeah.
8 times.
8 times the same mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me that mold would be a bit rusty by now, wouldn't you? It's got to be an old figure now. So
You're gonna get the money's worth. Yeah. Well, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you about this the Jabba's Palace? Because I watched Pixel Dan have a good look at it yesterday. It's the first time I've ever seen it without actual shots. You know, a video that goes around it. And I mean, are you happy with that? Are you happy with the price of that? I mean, do you not sit back and think, well, I'm paying 15, 16 quid for figures, but this is going to be 200 and something quid?
It is a little bit steep, isn't it?
Right, but are any of you getting it? I mean, I think you are, aren't you, Nick? You're getting that Jabba's Palace.
I've already got it. I've got, yeah.
No,
Well, I haven't got it. Got it pre-ordered.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting that. Yeah.
Is it this September or next? No, when is it coming out?
Next year, isn't it? 23.
Next year.
I know, but
next year.
Better be careful. I've ordered 2 now. You know.
Is it sold out yet?
I think I was chatting with Tim or somebody, and I thought I'm getting a second one. It might have even been you, Daniel. I don't know, but I got a second one.
Yeah.
So obviously, got to watch my pre-order and bank statements and whatever when that kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double price,
Just get yourself a hot toy, Nick. Get yourself a hot toy. You know you want to. Just get yourself.
Nick, you should get on the hot toys.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Got 5 already, and I thought I ain't going to get one.
You know, it'd have to be something with a helmet on. I think, you know, the human faces. I'm not even convinced that they're all that good, really.
Oh, they are, mate.
Maybe
Some are really good. So.
Yeah. There was a good one in Forbidden Planet. You know, the Nomad concept, Nomad. Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's obviously not based on this show. It was I saw it a couple of years ago.
Alec Guinness one.
Go through the desert. That looked good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Or was that most hot? It's Hot Toys, and what's the other one called? The 12 Sideshow Collectibles.
Yeah, the Sideshow one. The Alec Guinness one is very good. Yeah.
The thing is with that Jabba's Palace playset that they're done. Daniel very kindly shared some pictures of dioramas that he'd done that were far superior to that, and I did a very, very
you started from?
Really, I know, but mine was literally just like thrown away together in it took me half a day to do it, and yes, I bought some 3D printed stuff that went with it. But Daniel's was like far superior to anything that they will ever give us. And you can get the other bits 3D printed. And I suppose the shame that you've got with it is it's a standalone piece. And don't get me wrong, it does look fabulous. It really does look fabulous. But it is a standalone piece. It's not going to be something where you can create the palace around it, because it is the way that it's arched and the way that it actually
it's a different size, really.
It's not going to sit in with anything else that they've got. So, it does look. Don't get me wrong. It looks a very, very nice piece. You know, you get 50 pieces of bits. You know, the other bits and pieces that come with it. But again, you can get those bits 3D printed and done or whatever. And gosh, but it'd be interesting. I'm doing wrong. Nick, it'd be interesting to see when you get yours and you do a review, because it's September next year, isn't it? It's still a year away, pretty much. Plus, But the price point it's in between. I suppose the price point is in between that sort of what you would expect for a vintage collection, whether it be a play set, and a vehicle. Where do they go with the vehicles from there? I suppose is the
what was it again? Sorry, it was 200 and something. When it
239, I think, wasn't it? Something like that.
250,
209, 210 quid, I think it was, something like that.
It sounds crazy, but you could obviously mock it up for Return of the Jedi, but I'm actually quite enjoying the idea of having it just as a nice empty space, something nice to look at, and just having Fett sat on that throne. Thingy next to him, man.
But it's Nick, it's how you
barbecue. You don't remember seeing that in Return of the Jedi, because he's so big, Jabba's so fat, isn't he? So you can't see.
It's how you display yours. So the ones that Daniel had done, for example, is showcasing. I don't know, unfortunately, we probably can't show the pictures here. But Dan, you did it as a complete play set, didn't you? Yours was like a diorama piece where you had the whole of the back wall and the sides and everything else. The way that they've constructed that play set, as lovely as it looks, it will not fit in. Literally, it would have to be a standalone piece.
I think they may be able to make some of the other parts.
I think they could easily do it, Dan. I just don't think they will.
Well, they won't. No, they definitely won't. It'd be nice if they did.
Right.
because they could have made the opposite side what faces Jabba with
Exactly.
the little arches and booths where all the patrons sit.
Yeah.
And then off to Jabba's right hand side is Han Solo's carbon wall, so that they could do that.
But the thing is, I suppose the price point of that, though, Dana, it's not an argument I'm making. It's just a discussion point. Is if that's at £209, and then we want to see stuff.
You'd end up over £1,000 for all the pieces you need.
Yeah, exactly. But then, so this throws us back to your ideal HasLab projects, doesn't it? Again, that you can talk about. God, where'd you go? What would you like to see? I mean, Sandcrawler, I've said Ewok Village, Cantina. Those are my.
They should definitely have a vote. Hasbro should definitely do a vote.
That's the point, Matt.
We got a pre-design everything. No, you just take a picture off the screen of something on the film and go, we'll make this, or this.
Well, I'm quite interested nowadays with the idea of an Ewok village, man. I never had that in the 80s or anything. I've got quite a lot of loose Ewoks nowadays, and I quite like the idea of that,
Yeah, but it depends what they're making, though. Is it dioramas? I mean, I was pulling out my phone a couple of days ago, and I had the Geonosis Arena. Do you remember that thing? The Geonosis Arena, and it came, I love that place, but that is a play set when you see, you can knock down the columns and the doors open and things moves up, down, left, right. What are they making? So that's the thing. I agree with you, and I would love an Ewok village, but how would they do it? Would they do it like
it would be like a diorama? It would be a segment, wouldn't it? You'd have either two, you can just imagine the sections with the bridges between a couple. I don't know, maybe a triangular kind of formation or something. But it'd be nice to see some vegetation as well. Maybe I don't know if they could do that nicely.
If you be like, well, where's the lift? Where's the boulder? Where's the net? Do you know what I mean?
Is that the classic? I don't know. I know nothing shabby, right?
You can have ladders that go gantries that lift up and all sorts.
Exactly. If you look at the original one, all you got to do is basically make that 2 to 3 times bigger in terms of sort of bigger, wider, so that there's maybe 2 or 3 sections to it with a little bit more on the height, and then you've got the playability and also the pausability of it in terms of being able to be showcased. Not on a wall, obviously, because it's just it's not going to work like that. But
sorry to interrupt. It's triangular then. I've never really known anything about the original Ewok village, right? So this is kind of I've never looked into
3-legged.
That isn't something that based on what I knew about it. I knew nothing about it. I'm not really that interested in.
It came with 3.
I'm going to share the screen.
3 pieces. Essentially, in terms of the tree stump,
3 trees.
I thought it was 4. And then, wasn't it 4? 3?
Oh, it's 3.
No, I think it was 3.
Okay. I've got the show. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah. So if you imagine, if you need just from a plausibility point of view, even if that's a very basic set, and that was what built in the early 80s.
Wider.
83.
Make it wide like the Millennium Falcon, loads of
well, no, not just that, Nick, but just 2 or 3 pieces of that together, slightly higher, slightly wider. Bosch,
Actually,
have the meeting hall with the Nutch Vader, all that bit. Ronti Darth Vader, Ton Death Star.
What about talking of Death Star? What about a Death Star HasLab playset similar to the Lego one?
Yeah,
but obviously for the 3.75 figures.
Yeah, but how much would that cost, Dan? That would cost an absolute fortune, wouldn't it? I mean, how much is that Death Star? The Lego one's about 500 quid now, isn't it? I mean, it's
but Lego's expensive. It's way overpriced. It always has been. I mean, I reckon they could do a vintage collection HasLab for 500 maybe.
No,
I
just don't see the conceivability of them doing that.
Maybe.
When I think you could get 2 half orbs together, and then with a Perspex stand on the bottom of it, and then you could, you can turn it around. You can make it out of cardboard and slot it together like the original one, and make it out of
Make it out of plastic, not cardboard. I mean,
Yeah,
make
right.
it.
Plastic, yeah,
There were two different types, wasn't there? So if you go back
yeah.
all them years,
Yeah, it was
we had the Palatoy one, didn't we?
Yeah, the Palatoy, the original triangular thing. It's not. It wasn't great, was it? Let's be honest.
What?
It was
No.
the original triangular one. I mean, I'm talking about the Palatoy cardboard one was brilliant because it was.
That's what I mean.
round.
The cardboard one,
round.
Dan. So that was
right,
that was
sorry.
the original one, and then they also did
The
The
plastic
American
one.
one.
a plastic
American
play set, didn't they? Which was a Kenner thing, wasn't it? The
Kenner one,
Yeah, that was Kenner,
the
yeah.
plastic
Yeah.
play set. So they gave you a side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's just too big to do. I mean, when I did my made that Death Star of mine, and I'm not trying to plug it, by the way, joking apart, guys. It took me ages to construct, and it was really, really good to do. And it's a big piece, but the point being is actually, I know Nick, bless him, showed it on the channel, but when I then did put figures in it, like loads of figures, which I've put on, my channel, I know when I did the video, this thing's like 37 inches long, Dan, and when you put a load of figures in it, it still looks actually really tiny, even as a two-sided thing. And this thing's like 37 inches wide, 18 inches high, and two-sided. So this, if they were going to construct something like that, it would just be, it'd be off the scale. Do you know what I mean? You don't think you'd be able to do
Star
it.
Destroyer bridge, that'd be better. I'd love that. Like Daniel Chart made, something like
I've already
that.
got one of them.
I know we have.
Just start off, just give us some corridors. That would be really nice.
Why don't we
Death
just-
Star corridors. That'd be a nice start. Yeah.
Why don't we just do a crowdfund for Daniel? Daniel could be like HasLab 2, and we could just all chip in and pay for it.
From a feasibility point of view, I just think you'd be better off. They'd be better off.
There's so
looking
many
for-
HasLabs they can do that we need for the TBC.
Either get rid of all the people that they've got hired and get some people that know what they're talking about, don't they? That's what they
Well, come on then, Darth Wizard. What else have you got on your mind there? What else? What else are you thinking could be done then that we may not have discussed?
Oh, well, I mean, it's so obvious. Obviously, the Death Star, the Ewok Village. There's the ones that you guys obviously want is the Jawa, the Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
Right.
Cantina.
I mean,
yeah.
The Cantina. Those are 4 absolute musts. Sorry.
I've already got one of them.
Yeah.
Think about that. The troop transport in the 80s, you never saw the inside of that. So there's never ever been an appeal for me to know, I mean.
Yeah.
And I never had it as a kid. And I suppose that would have been more interesting.
Obviously, the bridge of that I think Daniel's done is the bridge of the of a Star Destroyer, whatever which one.
The
Probably
light
Empire
cruise
Strikes
Mando.
Back the best.
Bigger Echo Base, maybe corridors of it.
About Cloud City.
Cloud City.
Yeah.
Again, that's just too big.
With a couple of landing pads, isn't it? Put your code car.
Well, but Mike, they can do it just like the Tantia, for the Cloud City, or maybe a little bigger.
Slightly bigger,
Yeah.
About the same size as 4 of those Tantive corridors together.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's just too many rooms that you'd want if you were going to do best bin.
Yeah, that's true. They're probably going to have to.
You'd want the landing. You'd want a landing platform, for example.
For
you would then
slavery.
go in and you would want obviously where they torture Han. You'd want the furnace room. You'd want
the carbonite room.
You've got the carb. You've already got the freeze frame pieces we've put together. So that would be like, crikey, however many inches that thing is put together on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be enormous. Again, it'd be enormous.
Yeah.
They never even did the carbon freezing chamber right. So I mean, it's,
we know that, Darby. So, do you know what I mean? That was the shame of that, wasn't it? Because
the cheapest way they could do it.
Yeah, of course it was, Matt. But it was such a shame because it was the perfect opportunity. If you're then talking about the world building that you're talking about here,
add-ons,
you could have made they did that power. I think they did. They did a Power of the Force one, didn't they? Of that Power of the Force 2, was it part of that?
That was
I'm not saying that was perfect in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't.
Do you think they could build something that that could add on to that freezing chamber to complete
Yeah,
it.
you could sell a figure with an actual extra piece that goes up in the ceiling or something, can you? And then collect all
So
the...
spindly
Or
that
just
was.
do a HasLab that
It's
just
too
do a HasLab that gives the
awful, that.
room.
Yeah.
I just think for those sort of massive projects, that sort of thing, I just cannot see them giving you like the Death Star, for example, that we would want from HasLab. If you want a Death Star, you want it to be enormous. If you want a Cloud City, you want it to be enormous. Don't think HasLab will do that. What HasLab can easily do, an Ewok village, for example, like we're talking about, can be split up because you can have walkways and all those different things. So from a feasibility point of view, that could be done. The cantina could be done, yes. And we've got lots of figures that we can do with that. Whether they be older figures or new. Yes, you can do that. And the same with the Sandcrawler. And I know
definitely a castle.
McKinnon.
I've said that all the time. Those are the three
that's
projects, for example. And then you
can have like a hangar. Sorry, Mike, I'm cutting. You can have like a hangar for Vader's ship. And
exactly.
Wow,
no. Yeah. But again, Nick, that would be
Mustafar thing, castle. Wow.
But you could have some sort of translucent thing at the front that's like looking like. And it's
Peter McKinnon, you've flipped on my imagination with that one. Thank you very much for dropping that.
It's a brilliant one. That is.
Thought about that before.
Yeah. Or how about a proper Emperor's throne room with the stair? With
After
the stair,
that could be done.
What were they called, Daniel? 12 months ago, what were they called? The company that did that thing, and I featured it on the video I did, the counter argument to the. I kind of featured the thing that it was off the ground or something. Was it?
Hole in the ground.
Was it Hole in the Ground? Was that? That was 3D printed. That wasn't it? That concept, but it was good.
Yeah.
They could have done that. It's like the Sandeep set.
Resin cast, isn't it?
It's cast.
Yeah,
resin.
whatever. That would have been way.
But then you were talking about Vader's palace. So if you go on to look, we're going on this. So it doesn't make any difference. If you go on to, and we've mentioned other names here. So again, don't make any difference. If you have a look on Facebook and go on Cardboard Galaxy, yes, he does stuff that is, I use them because I can get, the guy, brilliant, does me a deal when I bag everything together and then I'll get it shipped over. And I photocopy it and I'll try and put it onto Westphone. But he did do a custom piece, actually, what you guys were talking about, of Vader's Mustafar Tower. And it was literally one custom piece he did for one customer. It wasn't like available for anybody, but it was a great example of what could be done. And that was purely just out of cardboard. So you can, you could adjust that sort of thing. And, look, at the end of the day, people like Daniel, the fans are making some of the best stuff out there, But if you're talking about HasLab projects, there's no reason why they couldn't give us these type of things. Sorry, Nick, if you're looking at that, you need to probably scroll. Look at that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
There you go.
That's nice, isn't it?
Simple, that, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
It's great.
But there was, he actually just did a custom pieces for the Mustafar.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Look at that. This perspective, whatever you call it, on it. Yeah.
Force perspective.
What about
the? Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
what about the Imperial?
I think that's what it is. Look at that.
Not that this would be a pressing HasLab, but eventually when they do the Imperial shuttle at some point, I mean, obviously doing it to scale, I think would be or more to scale that you can fit more than two people in the cockpit, right? Yeah, like an Imperial shuttle.
That would have to be again. Sorry, we were just digressing a little bit. For me, that should be a
that's new.
A HasLab project.
It's got to be. Yeah, if you're going to talk about having 4 people in the cockpit, you can imagine the size of the Imperial shuttle. So it's got to be HasLab.
Just because the wings are so big, isn't it? But But to me, again, only an opinion. I would like to see that as a HasLab project.
That's great.
There you go, Mike. That's like yours. That's great.
That looks good.
That would do it. Something like that.
Where's my pictures?
Oh, me. What about me?
Joking,
back to me.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
look at that.
shot of when he says, "Act on instinct." Is it? Oh no, maybe not. No, he's outside the homestead. Thought that was the.
But
Put the blast shield down. I can't even see. How am I
this
supposed
guy
to?
does some really good stuff in terms of just
Just
designing
bubbles.
their backdrops. Do you know what I mean? So, Nick,
Yeah.
you've seen some of the stuff when I've modified these bits and pieces, and all I've done was photocopied bits I've bought from the guy, and then put them onto
That's
Westphone.
quite best bin. Oh, that is best bin.
That is best bin. Yeah, so I've got all of
Lovely.
that. I've got all of his stuff. I just haven't had a chance
Oh,
to
that's
do
a
it.
Tron.
Oh,
What
yeah,
his
what
price
the
is
hell
like,
is that?
What his price is like?
For you guys, Shabby, for you guys
He's in
in the
America,
US,
Shabby. Yeah.
it'll be absolutely dirt cheap, mate. It's about
But over here, it's quite expensive, isn't it?
for us to buy it. It's just the shipping. Actually, the shipping probably costs as much as buying the product. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
did he
So
make some
something, I
add-on
don't know,
bits?
you know,
For the
$30 or whatever, you know, what I'm having to pay that on the shipping on top, which is why I try and always bulk put stuff together with him when I can. And he's very good. He's really brilliant with me, to be fair. When I say to him, can you just hold on to that for me and I'll put it together and we'll all put it in one package. But what I try and do, because obviously this is all cardboard, I can't. I'm gonna have to show you this. Can I
very quickly, that image there, right?
For 1 second.
Yeah.
Just so I can
It's
show you this.
images like that, the penny drops with me a little bit because I sometimes put it down the modern, retro collection, and I'll say how I prefer modern figures for modern property, whatever, programs.
Can you
But
see
this
this,
is
guys?
good for people who like their vintage 80s figures, right?
Yeah.
Nick, can you see this?
Yeah, I'm
not in the picture, am I?
Well, your head is.
Top of your head
Yeah.
is.
Duck.
Should I put you on full screen, Mike? I can't believe this is like a face reveal. This is history, ladies.
No, it's not a
gentlemen.
face reveal. This is.
I've seen Mike's face. He's all right.
No, let's see it. Come on.
Can
I
you
don't know
see
what we're
that?
looking at. We're just looking at the top of your bloody.
Can you see this or not?
Yeah, what about it? What is it, mate? It looks like a vinyl record. What is
No,
it?
so this is the Navarro Streets that I bought from Cardboard Galaxy, which I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
all just mocked up in. I'm going to put it onto West Foam and then build it up, and I'm going to send it to you, Nick. So,
Yeah, it's just your lights reflecting on it.
Oh, sorry, chap.
Where were all the
Oh,
cans,
yeah, we
Mike?
saw him.
I only saw him.
Anyway, I'm coming off camera.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
come
Mike.
on, Mike.
Oh,
Come
Mike.
on.
Mike.
Boring.
Mike,
Don't
Does
be
that-
shy.
does that
Face reveal.
Navarro cardboard thing actually go with the actual Hasbro one? Doesn't it? He's made one that goes with it. Or...
Yeah,
Oh,
so he's
okay.
done
That's nice,
he's done
though,
he's done a cantina thing, Matt,
Wow.
which
There's a
Yeah.
nice figure.
completely goes over the cantina walls
great.
and
Yeah.
and both
You've still got
sides.
the
I mean,
bar.
those are just the streets, so
Yeah.
bits and pieces. They're smaller ones, but he's got some really lovely. There you go. Look at that. If you just want to, again, I know you can make this stuff as a diorama. That's no problem. But if you haven't got the time to do that, and you just want to make this as a backdrop for something like, Nick, you like these purpose-built things you can just put straight onto your shelves, then they're great.
That's
Butler.
great. That big. Yeah.
That's nice. Look at that. Wow. The Senate. What's Dooku
Oh, the
standing
Senate.
for?
That's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just
There
good.
we go.
Oh, hello. Let's go
Oh,
back
there
to
it
that
is.
Oh,
There
look
you
at
go.
Let's
that.
go
That
back
was
to
cool.
there.
I think your Daniel
That's
chart,
good.
yours is probably a bit better than that.
Bit thicker. He's a bit thicker. Yeah.
That's interesting, though. Look at that. Wow.
That's a good one.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a good little control unit. Oh, that is great. That. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's loving the Death Star trenchy.
I do. I love
Canyons.
that. That's my favourite sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You can't beat that pattern, whatever that's called. That window
Oh,
pattern.
that'd be
Yeah, that
epic.
window pattern. I'd love to do
That's
that in my
right
house.
there.
Do it in my house somewhere.
Yeah,
Sorry, love.
that piece he
Yeah.
did as a custom piece and just sort of sold it off on eBay as a one-off.
That's nice. That. Look at that.
Yeah, but that would be a great HasLab. Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, man.
Like that. Yeah.
It's that stupid thing, whatever it was. That
That
pop-out
fold
thing.
out thing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, I
Didn't
have
buy
that. I
it.
don't know
Didn't
where
buy it.
to put it.
I don't even use Matt the
that
cardboard
one.
of that anymore. I use the window frame and I have that against the magnolia wall backdrop.
Yeah.
It looks quite nice like that, but I'm
Yeah.
literally using a spindly bit of
Look,
plastic.
Daniel's feeling left out, chaps. Like he's bringing
Yeah,
Oh,
in.
basically,
Daniel's
yeah.
Daniel's got to
hang
get
on,
the
hang on,
proper
hang on.
one in.
Should I get
Yeah.
what am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah,
Get
hang on,
Daniel's
let's get rid
proper
of all
one
that.
in.
Stop screen. Let's
Let's
get
show
Daniel
Jack.
chart.
Yeah,
Front and
there we go.
center.
See the expert. There we
What
go.
the hell is he? I can't find him. Yeah, sorry, Dan.
Daniel,
There
that
we
is
go.
unbelievable.
See
go.
right there. Right there. That's
Oh, wow.
that's perfect.
That is
Oh,
brilliant.
you're watching. Oh,
HasLab-
you're watching.
HasLab needs to
Oh,
hire
you're
Daniel.
watching Hasbro
Mr.
Pulse.
Chart.
Oh, you're watching Hasbro Pulse.
Dan, how long did
Yeah.
that take you to put together, mate?
About
I know
20
we
minutes.
20 minutes.
No. Probably about a week that took me to make. It's all made
Really?
from foam, core West foam. So you can see that there's look,
Hi.
It's all-
Oh,
it's
hi,
all-
hi.
Yeah.
it's West foam, foamy sheets.
You love your foamy
and
sheets, don't you?
I'll tell you what, mate. Foamy sheets.
like-
This is all.
Pardon?
This is all foamy sheets, different colours, all cut to shape, and the self-adhesive just stuck on. These are foamy sheets. Just cut the shapes out for the tiles. These are made from poster board, the little computer screens. And again, all I did was I stuck little pieces of foamy sheet over them, and then obviously painted it all the same shade of dark grey. And I think it turned out pretty good. Once you put the figures in there, it looks really good.
That's brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's more than good, mate.
I
really-
didn't
And it's
realise,
light,
Dan,
very
how
light.
much. I didn't realise how much you used the foamy sheets. That was all.
Oh, I use them for everything. All my barrels, all my drums, boxes, crates. They're so versatile.
He ain't no 3D printer. He ain't no
I've never-
3D
No,
printer.
I've
It's
never 3D
Daniel
printed
Sharp.
any
printers.
Angel's fart. Yeah, that's good. Good on you, Dan. You keep it real, and you can tell it looks real.
Tell you what, Dan, when you stick that on eBay, that'll go for a fortune.
No, I don't know about that.
Don't know about that. Don't know about that.
Right.
No, don't stick my Christmas
Hang it
present
the wall.
on
What's he
eBay.
doing? Does he hang it on the wall? Does he? That is awesome, isn't it?
Sorry, fellas, I missed that.
Shabby wants it. He's marked it. He says,
Yeah,
he wants it.
Lizzie said, stick it on eBay. I said, no, you can't stick my Christmas present off Dan on eBay.
I'll tell you what, hang on, if Shabby, I'll go and get something that Shabby might like because he's a 6-inch.
Yeah, you go.
Oh, hello.
Oh, there we go.
This is going to cost you, though, Shabby. You're not getting this for free for Christmas.
Yeah. A little Black Series love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the Black Series is so good. If you want to do the photography with it, it seems like that's. I mean, the TVC still is catching up though.
I
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I got that shape easily, like I say. I think it's because I've been away from TVC for so long and I've come back to
Oh,
it.
here we go.
I can't believe how well
So this is simply titled "Solo Shot First."
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
That's Mark's
Yeah.
channel.
That's Mark. Yeah,
What he's doing with his leg, man. He needs to rest that on the table.
yeah he's a
Just
bit
his leg.
pointy there, isn't he?
He's got a boner
It's
on.
not working. It's not
got a
working.
boner.
Yeah.
He fell
I'm
off.
excited. Yeah.
Ready? Hang on. Look, stick the lights on.
Oh,
Hey.
look at that.
So good. So
That's
good.
great.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'd have that by the bedside cabinet, and the wife could see that at night. That'd be nice. Yeah. Well done.
So,
Look.
feature.
Foamy
Java
sheets.
the Whistle, a tumble coaster.
Dan, is that your light in your bedroom?
Yeah, this is my bedside lamp.
I could put a little
So
nice little alarm clock. Oh,
Oh, look, trade secret.
oh.
Trade secret. That is an aerosol lid with a piece of plumbing pipe inside it.
Oh
And
yeah.
it just goes
Smart.
over there. Somewhere over there, anyway. There you go.
Yeah, magic.
That's awesome. The light behind
Magic.
Greedo as well is pretty good. The LED, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's just an
The red
LED,
one. Yeah,
little red
good.
LED. That
So
goes
that's
up.
Star Wars
That goes
vibe,
up,
man.
up inside the wall, and then through. So I hid that one.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. On Hello Greedo, one of his first ever videos, when he says Greedo didn't shoot at all. He didn't shoot at all. He couldn't because he was fucking dead. I'm not going to do any more swearing on this stream. I've had enough of that.
Yeah, there's been too
This
much
is the
swearing.
longest. Is this
Way
the
too
longest
much
stream you've
swearing.
done, Nick? I think. Is it?
I've never gone this far, but we've still got how many before we reach Dean's? We are halfway on the Dean mark now. This is
Oh,
the
right.
last Dean did 7
Never
hours.
beat Dean.
That's
No.
brilliant, that man.
No.
Because I watched him early on in
Fantastic
the
work,
evening,
Daniel.
and then I thought nothing more of it. Then hours and hours and hours later, I said, "He's still on." I couldn't believe it. It was so funny. Anyway, that was brilliant. Anyway, fellas. Oh, hang on, we're still on big screen. Sorry, no pressure, Daniel.
Right.
There you go. Well, should we wrap it up there, fellas? Because we are hitting it almost on 4 hours here.
I should have gone to bed half an hour ago.
That's
Good,
good,
man.
fellas.
It's nearly 1 o'clock.
Matt, we've got the 2 hour chat afterwards.
Yeah, man.
I know it takes another hour to cool down, doesn't it? The warm down. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It feels like we've had that usually when we finish a show and then we talk and we think, "Oh man, we should be rolling with this and having this should have been live." But I think we've kind of done it today.
I think to chat like that, like we have on USR, I don't think you could broadcast it.
Well, no, you can, Matt. I proved it tonight.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. What did you say, Shabby? I was
So
getting
you
a
coming
beer.
on
Did you
Friday?
say anything
Are you
offensive?
going? Yeah.
Was it
If
controversial?
BOE's still watching, I've messaged you, BOE.
Yeah,
Answer your
BOE was
messages.
watching.
Yeah.
He was. Is he home yet?
I messaged him on TikTok because he's on TikTok all the time. I know. So.
Yeah.
Dancing,
Yeah.
dancing. Do you remember Nick dancing?
That was
BOE.
great. Oh, there's that latest video of his with the
Yeah.
monkeys. It was the psychedelic monkey song.
I saw
and
BOE.
dancing like that.
Did you see how BOE got bitten by a dog the other day, didn't he?
That's
On
right.
his
Yeah.
bike?
Apparently a scratch.
No, I didn't know that. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
He was
favorite
riding
video
his
we
bike.
shot recently was the one he did for his 13th anniversary, and he found a GIF or an emoji or whatever you call it with hi. I love that,
Hi.
man.
Hi.
Brilliant.
He's brilliant.
Yeah,
He's brilliant.
Still
Brilliant.
there, man. I love that.
Falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're big
Yeah,
BOE
sorry.
fans.
BOE,
Yeah.
you know that
London-
that video you did, man, blacked out Ewoks. You should have had the lizard in for that one that I saw with the monkeys music. That was awesome. That psychedelic track, whatever that was. Never heard
Yeah.
that one before. But you needed the lizard in that one. But anyway, should we wrap it up, boys? We could push it to 4 hours, but I think we must go. But thank you, everyone in the chat. And thank you, my guests. I'm going to put all your links in the description ASAP. And that's Solo Shot First, Mike, Daniel Chart, Universal Collector Matthew, Shabby, and Darth Wizzy Wizard debut on the channel. Good to have you all on.
Nick, apparently when BOE got bitten by that dog, the dog had to go to the vets and get a tetanus.
Yeah.
I was going to.
I feel sorry for the dog.
Or not?
BOE, the
BOE tasty.
Yeah.
best kept secret of
Awesome.
London.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Nice one. We're going to call it a day. Thank you very, very much if you've been
Good night,
watching.
everybody.
Good night. Or
And
good
I'll
morning.
see you. Bye.
Afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Only one
Bye.
Kenobi,
Bye,
only
all.
one out. I think we are not out yet, but we